Okay.
You're listening to Miller and Moulton, coming at you from the Floormeister Studios. Floormeisters, keeping it real. And now, here's Mark Miller and David Moulton.
Top of the morning to you on this hump day where it's a full house. Hope your week is going well. Thanks so much for being with us. How the heck are you, Miller and Moulton? MillerandMoulton.com. Miller_Moulton on X. It's always great to be able to say good morning, Mark. How are you?
I'm doing well. A lot better than I was yesterday, David.
Well,
a lot better than I was yesterday.
That's how it goes on the journey, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. It's just all part of the game. But I feel good this morning. Felt good about halfway through yesterday. I'm like, ooh, I feel a little better. Feel like I'm myself again.
Well, that's good. I had gotten word that, that you were communicating with some people, and I'm like, oh, well, that's good. That's good because I knew you were out of it for, it felt like about 24 hours. So
that's about right. I was out of it for about 24 hours.
Yeah.
Took a long winter's nap, David.
Was kind of like a noon Monday to noon Tuesday thing. Okay.
That's about right.
Yeah.
I mean, I managed to catch a little curling in the middle, but yes.
Of course. I mean, I will say it was the litmus test. When people were saying, how's Mark? And I would say, well, if I find out if he watched the mixed curling final at noon, okay, if he didn't, it's still rough going. I go, but if he did, well, then okay. All right. So heartbreak for the U.S., though. Last stone, right?
I'm proud of the kids, though, David. You know, they did not have expectations coming into this competition. The mixed doubles team had never medaled before in the history of our curling. I don't even know what you call it, of our curling history, really. That, you know, a history of our curling, losing. So they had never medaled in the mixed doubles. So the fact that they were able to get a silver, expectations were high because they took out the defending champs in the semis. Right. And then Great Britain, who was the 1 seed, was knocked out. And it looked like gold was theirs, David. USA. But in the 8th end, they fell, giving up 2 and take the silver home. Good for them.
I have to admit, you sound like a spokesman for USA Team Curling there. Okay, a few we's, us. All right, and listen, there's an inside joke, and I don't know if everybody's in on it, but Mark, you've had some fun over the years in social settings in which what is it you claim again?
94 Lillehammer. Right. I bought a USA curling T-shirt many years ago, and this goes back to the late 90s, maybe early 2000s. And I bought a curling T-shirt. I don't know, stumbled on something, and I'm like, I'm getting a curling T-shirt. And so I would wear it out, and every once in a while, someone would notice the shirt,
right,
and say something, and I would immediately tell them that 94 games, I was a sweeper.
Right.
And no one had a response to that, because no one in their right mind, if you were to pick anything as a fake sport that you have done, curling's the one you've got, because no one can come back at you with anything.
I was with him one time when he just turned around quickly, looked someone right in the face, extended his hand, shook their hand, and said, "Yeah, Lillehammer 94." And I had to just cut my mouth. I was about ready to just burst out laughing. I'm like, oh my goodness. Our longtime producer, John Cassio, his thing was what? Google weather?
Google Maps.
Google Maps.
Yeah.
And he would just turn around and go, yeah, I invented Google Maps. Hi, how are you? Nice to meet you. And what is somebody going to say? I mean, now, you know, Miller and Moulton would look right at him and call BS. Okay. But most people would be like, what? Really? Okay. And then he would just make his way through the crowd. And I'm like, oh, this is Lillehammer 90. This is outstanding.
But, you know, Google Maps, he's trying to say he's a millionaire, and he wants anyone that there is to go
home.
He's
trying to pick up women. Right. He's trying to pick up the ladies.
I am merely trying to make the person think, did that guy really go to the Olympics doing curling?
And if you think about it, you would have been what, in your
early 20s?
Right, early to mid 20s. So, you know, it could fit. You know, and besides, you've never really gotten out of shape. But then again, it's curling.
It's curling. So you don't need to be in shape.
Right. So I just thought this is the best scam going. This is outstanding. So I just love the fact that you acted as like team spokesman there. Because, well, think about it. You've been with the program for 32 years. So, you know,
we go back. We have history.
Right. It's we and it's us. And there you go. But USA actually had a good day in terms of the medal count yesterday. They won 5 medals, although none of them gold. And you know how snobbish we are. Okay. It's kind of like, well, wait a minute. Where are the gold? I mean, you know, there's silvers and bronze. They're nice. But I mean, come on. Where's the something for the effort here? I will say there's a little pressure building on this Michaela Schifrin gal. Okay. She got what, like 2 golds and a silver in her first Olympics, but that was in 2018. 4 years ago, she competed in 6 events. She didn't finish 3 of them, and she didn't medal in the other 3. And this is one of the greatest skiers of all time. And she's competing in 3 events in these Olympics, and we were going to win a gold, and then she screwed it up, and we didn't even medal in the team competition. It was her and Breezy who won the downhill, Breezy puts us in first place. Okay, Michaela goes out there and we finished fourth. Now the other U.S. team got a bronze, but that's 7 Olympic races in a row where Schifrin hasn't medaled. She's got 2 left. So, that's kind of the story within the story here. There are so many stories in the Olympics, but that's one where the pressure seems to be building.
Exactly. That's the one thing that I think is hard for us stick and ballers,
right,
to understand the pressure that these Olympians face when it is once every 4 years. Yes, they're great
right.
at it. They win all kinds of events and whatever their discipline is, because they do have speed skating events year round, particularly over in Europe, and skiing events, etc. But the Olympics is only once.
Right.
And can you perform during those 6 to 10 days that your events are going on?
Especially when you get 1 or 2 runs on the hill. I mean, think about it. 4 years into, all right, you ready? This is it. You got 1 shot. All right, good luck. So, anyway,
are you watching?
Yep. Not really.
That's the question I have. Are you watching?
I got to be honest, not really. No. I mean, I'm paying attention.
I'm not watching at all. I watch the curling. David, I watch the curling. That's it. I'm not kidding. If the curling's not on, I'm not interested. I watched a little bit of USA Canada women's hockey yesterday.
Wow.
We destroyed them.
Oh my goodness. No one's ever destroyed Canada before. We've never beaten Canada like that before in a major competition. My goodness. Wow.
Yeah, you're right. And I'm going to get in trouble for saying this. I've seen high school hockey played at a better level. It's so slow. It's so slow. This is the old man on the porch. Here's my first old man moment of the day. Can't do it. I can watch the women play. I can watch some soccer, but mostly I can watch the women play tennis. I enjoy women's tennis. I think they're tremendous. Other women's sports don't do it for me, and hockey's one of them.
Okay.
The ECHL plays at a speed that's 10 times faster.
Well, if USA Canada,
you go watch the Everblades and the Icemen, it's a better product. It just is.
Well, if USA Canada women's hockey is not going to do it for you, then goodness knows the rest of the sport's not going to do it for you, because that's that's the best.
None of them can play
that the sport has to offer. So men's hockey is about ready to get underway, right? Okay,
yes,
I
think tomorrow,
today or tomorrow. Yeah. So I'm already worried for Team USA. We picked Austin Matthews as captain. Unbelievable. All right. There hasn't been a leader of men who's had the Maple Leafs jersey on since Matt Sundin. Before that, it was Doug Gilmour. I mean, honestly, of all the people, we picked Austin Matthews. Stop it. Just stop it. It's a bad
My
sign.
son didn't realize that, and he loves hockey. He's all into hockey, NHL, college hockey, junior hockey. He thought Jack Eichel got it. And he's like, well, he's won at every level. And, and I'm like, no. It's Austin Matthews. He said, what?
Thank you.
They picked who?
Yep. Right. Uh-huh. Yep. I think it's a bad early sign.
By the way, USA. The other team has this guy named Sidney Crosby as captain.
Right. So
he's won a few things. By the way, that's on the same team with Connor McDavid, Nathan McKinnon, and Cal McCarr. Okay. Just saying.
And there was no doubt who was going to wear the C either. So, yeah, I don't know. I think we're behind. It hasn't even started yet, and I have a feeling we're behind in the standings. But Miller and Moulton on this hump day, a lot of terrific stories out there in a bunch of sports. And there's even a football nugget or two. It might even be more than a nugget that I think you'll find interesting coming up a little bit later in the show. Jeff Cameron will join us, and Seth Everett will join us on the show today. We'll talk about it in detail later on, but there's a college athlete who's getting a 9th year of eligibility. Oh, my goodness.
What's
Yep,
this doctor's name?
You're going to love this story. Okay. And who says you can't go home again? Turns out you can. All right. Especially if you're willing to defer like 85% of your salary. So, a lot of good stories in the sports world. And Mark, Rory has opened his mouth again and has got an opinion on everything going on in the golf world.
Yeah,
And
one
I
of them I
know.
like a lot.
Okay. All right. We'll unveil that coming up. Miller and Moulton. And Mark is with us today. Thanks so much for being with us, millerandmoulton.com.
Your roof is your home's first line of defense. At Pelican Roofing of Florida, Ronnie, John, and their team bring years of experience to protect what matters most, your family and your business. From residential repairs to large-scale commercial roofing, we deliver honest work, fair pricing, and quality you can trust. An upgrade on your roof can lower your insurance costs. Don't wait for a leak to turn into a disaster. Call the experts at Pelican Roofing today. 1-866-9-PELICAN. That's 1-866-9-PELICAN. Online at pelicanroofingcompany.com. CCC 1332512.
Let's talk the big differences between Floor Meisters and the big box store that sells flooring. Floor Meisters is family owned. They do flooring, not doors, nuts and bolts, or weed killer. They specialize in it. They know it. Floor Meisters backs their installer, so if there's ever an issue, good chance the boss, TJ, will come out and make it right. Floor Meisters prices beat the box stores every day of the week. When you think flooring, think Floor Meisters in Naples. Floormeisters.com. Real people, real prices, real quality selection. The Floor Meisters, just keeping it real.
American Paint Supplies is your one-stop shop for all your coating needs and has been for 30 years. American Paint Supplies is also your #1 Festool dealer in Southwest Florida. If you are a builder, cabinet maker, painter, or power tool enthusiast, Festool craftsmanship can be found at American Paint Supplies. Celebrating 30 years of service, and Festool is celebrating 100 years of excellence. Come to American Paint Supply for a perfect pairing of service and expertise on 6100 Shirley Street, Naples, off of Pine Ridge, or online at AmericanPaintSupplies.net.
Get ready, Southwest Florida. The Southwest Florida Ag Expo is back. Now's the time to save big with the Mega Pass. Your all-in-one ticket to the fun, one low price. Get you one-day admission and unlimited midway rides. Mega Passes available online through February 26th at swflagexpo.com. Don't wait. Grab yours. Get ready for roots, rides, and real fun. Lee County, building a better community through business, sports, and tourism.
This is Miller and Moulton.
Thanks, Johnny Mac. Hope everyone feels better. You back to your phone?
One segment on the MiFi works like crap. Phone works 10 times better. Drop out.
Those are photos behind.
I
you,
am
right?
definitely having issues.
Yeah, I know.
Yes. I don't know what to say here. I've not had any problems in doing this. So I went off the MiFi because that was terrible. I'm using my phone now.
Yeah, I'm guessing it's probably Moffat's system this morning.
Don't they know I've got work to do? They're different little poster cards of photos that my wife put together.
You're listening to Miller and Moulton. And now, here's Mark Miller and David Moulton.
21 minutes past the hour. Miller and Moulton, millerandmoulton.com, Miller_Moulton on X. Mark in the house this morning. Raj back in our Southwest Florida studios, keeping the train on the tracks. He's happy. His Boilermakers survived after blowing a 22-point lead last night, but a W is a W, so he's in a better mood than he would have been, that's for sure. A little more pep in the step this morning than it would have been. Miller and Moulton.
No doubt. And I wonder from Nebraska standpoint, if a loss is always a loss, but if they would have gotten blown out last night, I wonder how they feel about themselves. I think the comeback. I think the comeback helps. It doesn't ease the loss, but they were down 22 in that game.
Mm-hmm. Yes, they were.
And all of a sudden, a team who was undefeated into mid-January here's losing games, now getting whacked by Purdue. Are we just a good Nebraska team, or are we a team that can think about a Sweet 16? I mean, that's got to be your expectations if you're the Cornhuskers.
Well, now, yeah, absolutely. I mean, even with the loss, they'll likely fall out of the top 10, but not very far. But then again, you got 5 Big Ten teams who are thinking we're a Sweet 16 team.
Right.
And never mind how many Big 12 teams are thinking that. Never mind, how many in the ACC outside of Duke and Carolina are realistically thinking that. How many in the SEC outside the Gators? I'm sure Kentucky's thinking it. I'm sure Arkansas is thinking it. But right now, would you put money on anybody else besides the Gators out of the SEC to reach the Sweet 16?
I would not.
I think, just for what it's worth,
I would not.
The second week of the tournament, Mark, and I know you're kind of cutting in and out, but the second week of the tournament, I think this year is going to be spectacular. I think there'll be very few Cinderellas that make it to the second week, and we are going to have a ton of big boys. And I think the second week of the tournament is going to be loaded. Super Bowl ratings came in last night. And it was the second highest rated Super Bowl ever. But the ratings were down from last year. That doesn't happen very often in the Super Bowl. 125 million for the game, about 3 million less than last year. Bad Buddy had more people watching him at halftime than were watching the game on a whole. Halftime continues to deliver like that. Fourth most watched halftime of all time. However, the last two halftimes drew more viewers, Kendrick Lamar and Usher. Oh, by the way, the other halftime that drew more viewers, Michael Jackson. 33 years ago. I was there. It was amazing. He made us wait forever, but it was amazing.
David, I saw a story yesterday, and I probably should have checked more to see if it was true. But the whole halftime thing obviously began with Michael Jackson. But why it began, I didn't realize. There was a little show on Fox. It was getting pretty popular. It was called In Living Color.
Mm-hmm.
And In Living Color, the year before that Michael Jackson Super Bowl, decided to do a super halftime show in which they had some music, some sketch comedy, and the Fly Girls.
Right.
And they had a timer up the entire time, letting every single person know when the Super Bowl was going to begin again. They were not trying to compete with the Super Bowl. But before that, as the story pointed out, it was a lot of high school bands and floats and whatnot, and things that were not very interesting to the viewer watching the Super Bowl. And it did 20 some odd million people. And I'll be damned, it was at that moment network executives and said,
Right.
And the next year, Michael Jackson did the Super Bowl, and things changed.
Yep. Sure did. Sure did. I believe that is the third highest rated halftime of all time.
Right.
33 years ago. It's been Kendrick Lamar, Usher, Michael Jackson, and now Bad Bunny. All right. Fourth highest rated halftime of all time. Game peaked in the second quarter, at least in terms of viewership. I have no idea when the game actually peaked. Don't know if you could call that game at a peak, but 138 million. And I will say at the moment that it peaked, that was the biggest audience in Super Bowl history, even a little bit bigger than last year's Chiefs-Eagles game at its peak. So Kid Rock did 5 million on YouTube. Now, he's gotten a lot more views than that after the fact, but live, he got 5 million views on YouTube. And
I think everyone wanted to see how bad the lip syncing was.
I thought he came out and said I didn't lip sync.
Oh, okay.
No.
Hey,
it
didn't look good. The reports didn't look good. I shouldn't say it didn't look good because I had no interest. I didn't watch. People who like Kid Rock complained about it. That's all I'll say.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. So there you have it. Those are the Super Bowl numbers for whatever heck they're worth. And we talk about it all the time, the power of the NFL. Mark, I don't know if you saw a story. I think it came out last night from John Orand, or maybe it was this morning. But you know how everybody's afraid of the NFL? I mean, golf is talking about condensing their season to essentially Super Bowl opening day NFL, okay, and then jamming everything in between. I mean, that's what the PGA Tour is talking about doing. Yeah. Gary Bettman has called up both Turner and Disney and said, hey, do you just want to re-up? Okay, I know we still got because they signed a 7-year deal, and I think this is year 5 of the 7-year deal that they signed between ESPN and Turner. And I think Bettman just said, hey, how about if we just renew? And both networks said, can't do that. Got to wait and see what the NFL is going to ask for, how much money we're going to need Don't know. Basically, they just said, I don't know if we can waste our 400 and 300 million on you guys. We may need it for, Raj. Mm-hmm. And there's other sports too in the same predicament. In which, I mean, what did the guy running Fox came out 2 weeks ago and said, yeah, we may have to get rid of some properties. Okay. If the NFL is going to ask us for more money, we're going to have to get rid of some sports properties because we're not just going to add $1 billion a year to our total. If we're not going to keep everything and then pay the NFL more. Whatever we're paying them.
I'm confused though, David, and I shouldn't be, but this is like a credit card. We're maxing out the credit card, but we can't afford the payment.
I don't know what to tell you. They're saying, I guess they have a bottom line.
I mean, I guess it's either we go out of business or we have the NFL,
yes.
Even though we'll lose money with the NFL.
But losing money is better than being doors shut. Mm-hmm. So the other networks too, CBS, and also remember CBS new corporate owners, NBC new corporate owners. I mean, they're used to dealing with balance sheets. I mean, you and I know if you're a network, you got to pay the price. I mean, either that or you're going under. I mean, what choice do you really have? But just saying. That's what's going on out there right now. Other sports are going, hey, guys, what do you think? And they're all like, gotta hear from Roger Goodell first.
We really want to make sure that they don't tear up their CBA and add an 18th game. Because, see, when they do that, well, we're effed.
They're going to do it. They're going to do it.
The players act like they don't want to do it. But, see, every time the players have acted that way, they ultimately say, wait a minute, we're going to get paid how much more?
Right.
And they do it.
Right. You mean the cap's going to go up $150 million a year? Seriously? Oh, well, when can we sit down and talk?
The big box store that sells flooring. Floormeisters is family owned. They do flooring, not doors, nuts and bolts, or weed killer. They specialize in it. They know it. Floormeisters backs their installer. So if there's ever an issue, good chance the boss, TJ, will come out and make it right. Floormeisters prices beat the box stores every day of the week. When you think flooring, think Floormeisters in Naples. Floormeisters.com. Real people, real prices, real quality selection. The Floormeisters, just keeping it real.
American Paint Supplies is your one-stop shop for all your coating needs and has been for 30 years. American Paint Supplies is also your #1 Festool dealer in Southwest Florida. If you are a builder, cabinet maker, painter, or power tool enthusiast, Festool craftsmanship can be found at American Paint Supplies. Celebrating 30 years of service, and Festool is celebrating 100 years of excellence. Come to American Paint Supply for a perfect pairing of service and expertise on 6100 Shirley Street, Naples, off of Pine Ridge, or online at AmericanPaintSupplies.net. Mark Miller for Sleep Treatment Direct. They are helping me with sleep apnea, and by helping me, I mean curing me. No more CPAP machine, no more snoring, no more tossing, no more waking up exhausted. Their expert team got me the right treatment, fast and hassle-free. If you want to feel energized and get rid of your snoring, call Sleep Treatment Direct today. 444-1741. That's 239-444-1741. Sleep Treatment Direct. Sleep safe and sound.
Hey, Southwest Florida, Jimmy the Beef Guy here. For you that haven't tried us yet, you gotta get in here and try my favorite 5 Chicago-style sandwiches. I got the Italian beef, I got the Italian sausage, the sausage and beef, the Maxwell Street Polish, and our soon-to-be famous breaded steak. Call us at either one of our locations in Bonita Springs and Fort Myers. And guys, when you're at the counter, don't call it gardenia. It's pronounced jardiniere.
This is Miller and Moulton.
Johnny, I hope that's sarcasm. We've told you for weeks. We watch the halftime show that's on. Neither of us give a flying F about Kid Rock and the Turning Point Make America Great halftime show. Okay? I wanted to see Bad Bunny. I've never seen him before. I was interested. Is it my jam? No. But I thought all in all, it was good. It had to be better than what Kid Rock did. Kid Rock hasn't been relevant in 20 years. And that's coming from someone who has seen Kid Rock twice. You guys you guys do try to push your agenda on us in that chat room. Not all of you. And why are you asking me to ask David about something?
I was going to say, I'm right here, aren't I?
He's right effing there. And is it a jock tax, Spitz? I thought it was a millionaire tax. David, the California.
I thought it's a jock tax.
Oh, is it? Okay. Now,
I thought
do
it was
know
how many days you're working in.
But most states are that way.
Mm-hmm.
When
In
you
theory,
work for-
though, right, Darnold's not taxed back at home. You can't be double dipped.
Right.
Okay. Now, it's a higher rate in California than Washington, but the way it's supposed to work is if you're an athlete, you get taxed for those days. You can't be taxed for those days back at home.
No, they can get me. Johnny can get me going. I just think it's lazy. You're pushing your agenda. YouTube and Twitch have all. Let's go do your own effing show. But to make these sideways comments about why we didn't do this, do you know how much shit we watch and read and do for this show? I mean, come on. Got a tube hooked to my body and an effing cancer ward. Enough. Thank you, Aurora. I'm here for you.
I will say, Aurora, the dear sir part I love. It reminds me
Does
of
make me
Vern.
feel old, but that's all right. EB,
Reminds-
trust me, my blood pressure's checked all day, every day.
Really?
And you know what, EB? I'm going to say this with sincerity. F you. Don't tell me what to do, okay? That bothers me. You guys think you have control over the show, and you don't. And it gets really goddamn irritating. Everything we do sucks. You guys are so much smarter. And you're one of them, EB. EB, you come at with negativity all the time. There's a lot of you all the damn time. Jesus Christ.
I didn't, Jay Gunn. I'm scheduled to be at the Super Bowl next year there, but no.
You're listening to Miller and Moulton. And now, here's Mark Miller and David Moulton.
22 minutes till the top of the hour. Jeff Cameron to join us 1 hour from now. Seth Everett will join us. It's a hump day after all. Miller and Moulton, millerandmoulton.com, Miller_Moulton on X. Mark is with us today. He's feeling better. That's awesome. Time now for
The starting five. 5 big stories you need to know. Here is the starting five.
Brought to you by Lee County, Florida. Building a better community. That's right. Through business, sports, and tourism. BST. Start chanting it like a sideline. BST, BST, BST. All right, Super Bowl ratings are in. Second highest rated Super Bowl ever behind last year's game. 125 million for what it's worth. Fourth highest rated halftime ever behind the last 2 halftimes of Kendrick Lamar and Usher. And oh, by the way, Michael Jackson 33 years ago. Game peaked in the second quarter. At its peak, it was the highest rated Super Bowl of all time, including peaks in other Super Bowls at 138 million. Las Vegas head coach Clint Kubiak, who was the Seattle Seahawks offensive coordinator, he had his presser yesterday, and he said, yeah, I want Max Crosby to stay. I got to get his number. I got to talk to him. I want him to stay. Max right now seems hell-bent on get me the heck out of here. We'll see. Rams tackle Rob Havenstein retired after 11 seasons, all of them with the Rams. He was their right tackle. He got hurt midway through the season, didn't play again. Would have been healthy enough to play in the Super Bowl, as he said. Healthy enough to play, not healthy enough to play well. To the Olympics. Big medal day for the U.S. yesterday. Team USA winning 3 silvers and 2 bronze. The U.S. has 7 medals overall, 2 gold, 3 silver, 2 bronze. We are 4th overall in the medal standings. We won a silver in mixed doubles curling. We had never done that before. We also won 2 silvers in cross-country skiing and freestyle skiing. The bronze came in the team combined skiing. It wasn't the high-profile team of Michaela Schifrin and Breezy Johnson. They finished 4th. We also took a bronze in women's luge. I think it's only the 7th medal we've ever won in that event. So USA women's hockey continues to roll 5-0 over Canada yesterday. Either the U.S. or Canada is the best team in the
We
world.
haven't allowed a goal yet.
Um,
Haven't allowed a goal yet. Oh, I'm sorry. We did score, let one in against. You're right. My bad.
what are we,
Take that
4-0?
back. Start over.
What are we, 4-0? And we've scored 5 goals in all 4 games. And I think we've outscored our opponents 20-1 so far. I'm worried, though, Mark. You know how superstitious I am. You know we're going to end up playing Canada for the gold. And we won the first one.
Yeah,
Anyway.
4 nations.
Just say tough to, when you're even, it's tough to go 2-0. And when you win the first one, 5 spit, oh boy, we'll see. Plus Canada didn't play with their best player yesterday. See how much of a difference that makes. All right, here we go. My favorite story of the day. You guys ready? College sports. Montana linebacker Solomon Tuliaupupu will return in 2026 for his 9th season of eligibility, according to the NCAA. Mark, this journey started at USC back in 2018. He missed 4 seasons due to injury. 4. He ends up playing the entire 2022 season. He misses all of 2023 because of injuries. Then he plays half a season in 2024, but he misses half due to illness. And now he will play a second season at Montana. So to review, 7 years at USC, in which he only played a year and a half. And now back-to-back years at Montana. Linebacker Solomon Tuliaupupu.
Raising up that dental floss in Montana. Way to go.
College basketball yesterday. The Canes led from start to finish. Beat North Carolina 75-66. 11th ranked Tar Heels go down. Vegas was telling you it was coming. They were up 1.5-point favorite coming off the dramatic win at home against Duke. Miami's 19-5 on the season. Is Miami going to make the tournament? I don't think so, but that's a pretty good one-loss record. Florida State had an 8-point lead on 15th ranked Virginia coming out of the last media timeout, and the Cavs score the final 11 points of the game to beat the Noles 61-58. Rogers Boilermakers blew a 22-point second half lead and trailed with under 5 seconds to go in overtime. They get a bucket, a stop, 2 free throws. They beat Nebraska 80-77. Boy, how about Wisconsin? They're 17-7. They've had some great wins this year. Didn't they go to Purdue and win? Okay. They just went to 8th-ranked Illinois last night and won in overtime, 92-90. Badgers were down 12 in the second half. 3rd-ranked Houston won by 14. 4th-ranked Duke won by 16. 5th-ranked Iowa State lost to TCU, 62-55. 19th-ranked Vandy was an underdog at Auburn and won 84-76. And then Arkansas and Gonzaga both won big. System went 5-2 yesterday, which is good because it had a rough weekend.
Yes, it did.
NBA, only 4 games. This just in. The Pacers could go to the Garden and beat the Knicks. It doesn't matter the year. It doesn't matter who's playing. All right. Indiana's 2nd worst record in the league. Knicks' 2nd best record in the East. Pacers in overtime beat the Knicks by 3. Houston got 26 from KD. They beat the Clippers 102-95. Dallas has lost 8 in a row. Phoenix beat them 120-111. Imagine you were a paying customer in LA last night. You're getting the Spurs and the Lakers. And before the game, they let you know, no Luka, no LeBron, no Austin Reeves even, their 3rd leading scorer. Wemby had 40, 37 in the first half. He only played like 24 minutes. Scored 40. Spurs over the Lakers by 28. I want a refund.
What a joke.
I want a refund. Only one of those 3 players was out injured. Baseball. Justin Verlander's 43 years old next week, but he's going home again. As he posted on X, back where it all started. Verlander and the Tigers sign a 1-year, $13 million deal. He gets $2 million for this year and then $11 million deferred. Verlander's got 266 wins. He's 8th on the strikeout list. He may have gone 4-11 last year with the Giants, but his ERA was 3.85, and he threw over 150 innings. For $2 million, number 5 starter. Okay. Not only that, that's got to be worth 2,000 extra people at the gate every time he pitches at home, right?
Yeah, and I would think, David, it does a little bit for the guy they just picked up and for Skubal to have that type of leadership in the clubhouse. He's been there, done that. Not in Detroit, but he's been there, done that.
Right. Aren't a lot of people that can tell Framber Valdez and Tariq Skubal and give him pitching tips, but Justin Verlander's one of them. There you have it. Mets Francisco Lindor may need hand surgery and miss 2 months. Toronto's
the baseball season started.
Turn right. Hey, pitchers and catchers have reported this week. Don't get me going. Don't do that.
And the Mets have an injury.
Well, yes. Yes, they do. A good thing they signed the shortstop for the Royals. Apparently that move to 3rd may wait a few weeks. Toronto's Anthony Santander, shoulder surgery. He's going to miss 5 to 6 months. I love all these guys who don't have off-season surgery. No. I'm going to rehab it. I'm going to rest. It's going to be fine. Yeah. They show up for the team physical. They fail it. They're placed on the 60-day IR. When are you coming back? August. Well, why didn't we have surgery 3 months ago? Anyway, Braves pitcher Spencer Schwellenbach. Yeah, he missed the final 3 months of last year. They do surgery on his pitching elbow? No. They thought somehow, some way it was going to get better with rest. This just in. He's on the 60-day IL because of his pitching elbow. They think he might miss most of the season. Jose Quintana signed with the Rockies. Tiger Woods' son, Charlie, announces he's going to play college golf for Florida State. Of course, he's got another year and change of high school left, but, he'll be on the team in 2027. He'll join that Miles Russell, #1 amateur in the world from Jacksonville
He will not
Beach.
be the highest paid player on the team.
No. At most, Charlie will be #2 on the roster, salary-wise. Correct.
Because the other kid's getting $1 million, and
Yes,
I don't
he
think
is.
Charlie is.
Nope. Not that they take their college golf seriously in Tallahassee or anything.
They might as well win at something.
Look at you. We'll talk to Jeff Cameron about it coming up in 45 minutes. And finally, something we will talk about on the other side. Rory McIlroy. He came out and said 2 things. One, all this talk about making the Players a 5th major, stop it. It's crap, I tell you. There's 4 majors. The Players is cool. There's 4 majors. And speaking of the majors, can we go back to playing the PGA in August? I don't like this May thing. Can we go back to playing it in August? We'll talk about it in greater detail on the other side. And for football betting purposes, lines are already out on who's going to win the divisions next year. I'll give you a hint. 6 of the 8 teams who won the division this year are not favored to win the division next year.
Are not.
Not. We'll get into that on the other side.
Sounds like a fun game to play coming up.
As well. And at 10 minutes before the hour, that was starting 5 big stories you need to know. Here on Miller and Moulton, brought to you by Lee County, Florida. Building that better community through BST, business, sports, and tourism.
All right. We got to come up with a poll question.
Okay.
And I do think Rory's comments could lead to one, but I don't know if we want a golf poll question.
All right.
I was going to go off the reservation because today is National Guitar Day.
Oh.
And my question would be, if you were able to play one instrument, what would it be? Guitar, drums, piano. And I can play a little bit of guitar, and I would probably vote guitar, but I'm in awe of piano players. I think playing the piano, everything about that, it just looks difficult. The dexterity of your fingers, being able to read music and work up and down the keys and make things sound as beautifully as they do. But as my very good friend's late father said, who played the drums, chicks dig drummers.
Yeah, that's my vote.
He goes, chicks dig. He goes, you're just banging on something back there. And he goes, the singer, yeah, they're very popular. They're going to get girls. But there's always those girls that are looking and goes, who's that guy that's just banging on crap back there? So I don't know if there's if there's a horn that you would throw in, I doubt it. I'll let Raj think about this and join in because Raj is definitely, of the 3 of us, Raj is the music guy, and it ain't close.
Yes, absolutely.
But
so Raj, that 4th spot is yours to determine. It either stays blank or you fill it in, my friend.
But, if someone said bass, that's only a bass player that would say that because that just means they couldn't play anything else. To all the bass players out there, I'm coming right at you.
Wow.
And trust me, if I could play the bass, I'd play the bass.
My mother thinks the bass player is the coolest one on stage, though, because they've got the least amount of movement usually, and they're, still making music. My mom's always been fascinated with the bass players. Of course, she did get dressed up as, one of the YMCA. So, you take it,
I always like the Smithereen song, and she stood there like just Bill Wyman, and I am her biggest fan. Miller and Moulton, thanks for listening.
Got a cracked window or foggy glass? Don't wait for the next storm to make it worse. Your local Glass Doctor Home and Business is just down the road and ready to help. From leaky frames to shattered panes, we've got the tools and the know-how to get your home or business storm ready. With flexible scheduling and our done right promise, you'll be in good hands. So before or after the weather hits, call your neighbors at Glass Doctor.
Glass Doctor, Glass Doctor. Call the Glass Doctor. We fix your pains. Oh, yeah.
Let's talk the big differences between Floormeisters and the big box store that sells flooring. Floormeisters is family owned. They do flooring, not doors, nuts and bolts, or weed killer. They specialize in it. They know it. Floormeisters backs their installer. So if there's ever an issue, good chance the boss, TJ, will come out and make it right. Floormeisters prices beat the box stores every day of the week. When you think flooring, think Floormeisters in Naples. Floormeisters.com. Real people, real prices, real quality selection. The Floormeisters, just keeping it real.
Your roof is your home's first line of defense. At Pelican Roofing of Florida, Ronnie, John, and their team bring years of experience to protect what matters most, your family and your business. From residential repairs to large-scale commercial roofing, we deliver honest work, fair pricing, and quality you can trust. An upgrade on your roof can lower your insurance costs. Don't wait for a leak to turn into a disaster. Call the experts at Pelican Roofing today. 1-866-9-PELICAN. That's 1-866-9-PELICAN. Online at PelicanRoofingCompany.com. CCC 1332512.
Cape Coral Police Department is growing, and they want you to be a part of it. They're hiring new officers. Starting pay is between $74,000 and $90,000, depending on your experience. And with a $10,000 hiring bonus, you could be making $100,000. Enjoy paid holidays, off-duty details, plenty of OT opportunities. They're also hiring dispatchers and professional staff. So go to CapeCops.com. CapeCops.com. Be brave, be best, be Cape.
Hey, Southwest Florida, Jimmy the Beef Guy here. For you that haven't tried us yet, you gotta get in here and try my favorite 5 Chicago-style sandwiches. I got the Italian beef, I got the Italian sausage, the sausage and beef, the Maxwell Street Polish, and our soon-to-be famous breaded steak. Call us at either one of our locations in Bonita Springs and Fort Myers. Hey, guys, when you're at the counter, don't call it gardenia. It's pronounced jardiniere.
At the Diamond District, we've built our inventory since day one.
We never pass on beautiful jewelry. For years, we've chosen exceptional diamonds and fine jewelry.
And when you buy with love for 2 decades,
your vault fills with extraordinary jewelry. That's why we're emptying the vault now through Valentine's Day. Enjoy rare pricing on jewelry chosen to celebrate love, connection, and commitment.
Will you be mine? Starts with diamonds from the Diamond District. Hablamos Español.
Visit Jason and Todd at the Diamond District.
This is Miller and Moulton.
Raj, I can see you tingling the ivories. More the keyboards than the piano in a Grateful Dead sort of way. What's the
I wish I could. I tried the piano when I was younger and couldn't do it.
Is there a fourth? Guitar, drums, piano. Is there a fourth?
I kind of considered saxophone as a shout out to Clarence Clemens and, bands like the Dave Matthews Band, but I think we should probably leave it blank.
I think you're right. I played saxophone in high school for 1 year because you had to have a fine art credit. And the first day of art, they made everybody draw a duck. And anonymously, the teacher put one by one up. And the roar of laughter when my duck came up was like none other. And my buddy's like, take pre-band. You don't have to march. You just learn the instrument. And so I got to where I could play it. I mean, I could beat the crap out of that Muppet theme. A couple Christmas songs for the Christmas pageant. Wish I would have played it more. I actually liked it.
I did a little bit of drums in band in junior high too. I saw a harmonica suggestion on the chat, but that's a little fringe, I think.
Yeah, is it really an instrument? I'm kidding. I know I would drive everyone nuts this fall, but I miss my guitar. That would get me through several hours a day around here. I tend to not play quietly enough. I can try playing quietly for a while, but then after a while, I got to just riff on something, and it's just kind of fun.
My daughter's getting pretty good, Miller.
That's so awesome. That is so awesome.
Can I ask a question? How do you vote? I've tried to vote, and it won't take my vote.
I don't know what you speak, David. The Twitter question?
Yeah.
Well, usually you just press one of the buttons the way we
I know
always
that.
do.
I know that, but it looks different. Like that, there's a thing on the side now next to the three choices. I've never seen that before.
I don't know. Let me check. Hold on.
I guess it. Well,
You're listening to Miller and Moulton, coming at you from the Floor Meister Studios. Floor Meisters, keeping it real. And now, here's Mark Miller and David Moulton.
Hour 2 of Miller and Moulton on this hump day. Hey, thanks for being with us. We really appreciate it. Full house today. Mark at Moffett, Raj back in our Southwest Florida studios. It's warming up. Mark's feeling better today. It's awesome. Hope you are as well. Hope your week is going well. Miller and Moulton, millerandmoulton.com, Miller_Moulton on X. All right. I know I kind of teased you shortly before the break with a couple of stories. So here's the football one. Are you ready?
Yeah.
So, they don't waste any time. Season's over. Got to get you betting on next year already. So who's going to win the divisions in the NFL? They set odds. Yesterday.
Okay. Right. And you said 6 of the 8 division winners, the odds are not on 6 of them. Like there's only 2 division winners from last year who are the favorites to win their respective divisions next year.
Correct. 6 of the 8.
Seattle is one of them.
Correct. Seattle is the betting favorite to win the NFC West next year. Close, by the way, but the betting favorite.
And
I don't think the second one's that hard.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you for that. That was a nice clue. That really helped.
Okay.
Second one's not. I know there's only 7 teams left. It's not that hard. It's one of the 7.
Right.
But Pittsburgh won the division. I'm not picking them.
Okay.
The Eagles. The Eagles.
There you go. Right. So the Eagles, who became the first NFC East team in 20 years to repeat as division champs, they are the betting favorites to win the East again. Chicago won the NFC North in the initial lines that came out. Who do you think is the betting favorite to win the North next year?
The Detroit Lions.
It's the Green Bay Packers.
Ooh, okay.
In the NFC South, the Carolina Panthers won the division last year. Who's the betting favorite to win it this year?
Tampa Bay.
I think it's Atlanta.
Oh, wow.
In
with that
fact,
with that great quarterback play they have there.
In fact, I believe Carolina's odds to win the division were the worst in the division, even worse than New Orleans. Talk about no respect at all.
No kidding.
Yeah. Okay. AFC East. Well, if they don't have the Patriots listed as the favorite.
Well, that's obvious. It's the Bills.
Uh-huh. Okay. Back AFC North. Steelers won the division. Who's the betting favorite?
Baltimore.
Okay. AFC South. Jags won the division.
Houston's the favorite.
There you go. Now, AFC West. Denver won the division. Who's the betting favorite?
Boy.
Because
it's Denver's not
Denver.
the right. If it's not Denver,
right.
I guess it's going to be Kansas City. Chargers, huh?
They picked right now, early lines. The Chargers are the betting favorite to win the West. So to me, the two teams who got disrespected the most, well, Carolina, obviously, not just because they weren't picked to be, but I believe they're the worst odds in the division. So they might be worth a shekel or two. I mean, but anyway, I mean, everybody was below 500 in that division, though. So, don't know if you can put money on a team in that division with confidence. But I think Chicago and Denver are the two teams who got disrespected the most, even more so than New England. So there you have it. Early lines of the 8 teams that won the division last year, 6 are not the favorites to win it next year. Remember, we just had a season where in 2024, of the 8 teams who won their division, do you know how many repeated as division champs? 1. Philly. That's it. Chicago won the division, not Detroit. Carolina won the division, not Tampa. Seattle won the division, not the Rams. The Patriots instead of the Bills. The Steelers instead of the Ravens. The Jags instead of the Texans. And the Broncos instead of the Chiefs. So, if this is your thing, bet accordingly. Only 1 team repeated as division champ this past season. And right now, the early betting lines are only 2 are favored to repeat next season.
Trying quickly to get money on Tampa Bay, but they don't have division futures up yet on the Hard Rock app.
I was going to say it's out of state, unfortunately. But, just keep it in line. Keep it in mind. So, betting favorite. How about the Chargers? That's got to be a little bit of a surprise, right?
It is. Well, I have trouble because I have trouble thinking Kansas City, and that's why I didn't pick the Chargers. But, obviously, we think the football people think highly of the quarterback. He's done nothing yet to deserve it. But that was an offensive line that was completely a mess last year because of injury. In theory, they're getting 2 key guys back on their line. That's going to make a world of difference for a team that wants to run the football first.
Yeah, I'm getting – and by the way, not just 2 tackles, 2 really good tackles. Right. You'd probably, when healthy, say they're one of the 5 best tackle combos in the league. Right.
When healthy. But that's the part that I worry about because players who get injured tend to, wait for it, David, get injured.
Wow.
You know, I worry about that. When you look at, San Francisco was it just a one-off that they were banged up all year? Well, they were banged up the year before a little bit too.
Right.
Speaking of the Niners, by the way, and I know you didn't, David, but there's a musician that I like. Not a good person, by the way. By all accounts, not a good person, good musician. His name's Zach Bryan. He finishes his concert with this song called Revival. And every different artist gets a little solo, and he gives them a little introduction, and they do their solo. Well, Zach Bryan played a show in San Francisco the night before the Super Bowl.
Okay.
You know who played piano during the Zach Bryan concert? For Zach Bryan, Christian McCaffrey.
Wow. That's cool.
Yeah. Now on piano, Christian McCaffrey.
All right.
And it wasn't half bad. And he did his little thing and played, and they keep on with the song. But Christian McCaffrey sat in on piano. And Zach Bryan's big. I mean, Zach Bryan played a show at Michigan Stadium for over 100,000 people. He's no joke.
Right.
This is a big-time musician.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I was like, all right, Christian McCaffrey.
Comeback player of the year, married to Olivia Culpo there. And, oh, by the way, I'm not bad on the piano. Can I show?
Right. Yeah.
Imagine they have people over for, little appetizers and drinks. And, okay, all right, Christian's going to play the piano, everybody.
See, and that does get to our poll question today. Today is National Guitar Day. If you play one instrument, what would it be? Guitar, piano, drums. And I get where David comes from. I get wanting to bang on the drums all day.
Yep.
I'm a guitar guy, but at the same time, just for that, because yeah, you can be that guy at the party and pull out the guitar and start playing, cheesy guitar songs. But if you can play the piano at the party,
oh wow,
you can go in so many different directions. You can go the Sinatra direction. You can just play some jazzy things. If it's the holidays, you can play the carols. So that's the poll question. Right now, guitar getting half the vote, early going. So we'll see.
Raj, you're the best music guy we know. How are you answering the poll question? Drums, guitar, piano.
I considered the piano, but guitar is really the badass thing to do.
Because you want to shred, don't you?
Oh, man, do I ever. And I wish I could.
You know what's great? And Raj, okay, this is not a knock in any way because you have to acknowledge the truth is the truth. But Raj is so into his music and he's sitting here going, badass. I want to shred. But coming from your voice, okay, in which you're so laid back, okay, and you talk, just a little slower than Miller and Moulton do, and you're sitting here going, oh, that's so badass, man. I just want to go and shred.
I want to shred.
And coming from you, it's just so awesome.
Trust me, if we could play licensed music when Raj ran the show, we'd go from one dead song into a Fish song into some other funky jam bands that people wouldn't even know who they were throughout the days. But that's our poll question. That Mark Miller, the David Moulton, Miller_Moulton on X. NFL talk, only 2 of the 8 division winners are favored to win the division next year. Does this league have it going on or what?
Right. Here's why San Diego, wow, I don't normally say that. Here's why San Diego LA Chargers being the betting favorite.
$1.
Yeah, and I don't know if I've ever had to pay that $1.
Not in 5 years.
Easy. Do you know when's the last time the San Diego / LA Chargers have won the AFC West?
I'm going to guess when they were in San Diego.
Well, you are correct, but feel free to pick a year.
I'm bad at this, but this sounds like a, Philip Rivers, LaDainian Tomlinson thing.
Tomlinson may have gone to the Jets. It's close. This is the first year of the Obama administration, 2009. Miller and Moulton.
American Paint Supplies, celebrating 30 years in Naples, is proud to be the exclusive Farrow and Ball dealer in Southwest Florida. The best thing to come from the UK since the Beatles, Farrow and Ball has the colors and paints at American Paint Supplies. See why all the designers and painters choose Farrow and Ball. For 30 years, American Paint Supplies provides the perfect pairing of service and expertise on 6100 Shirley Street in Naples off of Pine Ridge or online at AmericanPaintSupplies.net. American Paint Supplies is your one-stop shop for all your coating needs.
Let's talk the big differences between Floor Meisters and the big box store that sells flooring. Floor Meisters is family owned. They do flooring, not doors, nuts and bolts, or weed killer. They specialize in it. They know it. Floor Meisters backs their installer, so if there's ever an issue, good chance the boss, TJ, will come out and make it right. Floor Meisters prices beat the box stores every day of the week. When you think flooring, think Floor Meisters in Naples. FloorMeisters.com. Real people, real prices, real quality selection. The Floor Meisters, just keeping it real.
Your roof is your home's first line of defense. At Pelican Roofing of Florida, Ronnie, John, and their team bring years of experience to protect what matters most, your family and your business. From residential repairs to large-scale commercial roofing, we deliver honest work, fair pricing, and quality you can trust. An upgrade on your roof can lower your insurance costs. Don't wait for a leak to turn into a disaster. Call the experts at Pelican Roofing today. 1-866-9-PELICAN. That's 1-866-9-PELICAN. Online at PelicanRoofingCompany.com. CCC 1332512.
Think we only fix windows? Think again. Your local Glass Doctor Home and Business does so much more to upgrade your home. We custom build stunning shower and bath enclosures, install sleek glass doors and windows, and can bring fresh life to foggy or cracked panes. Need a glass tabletop or a statement mirror? Yep, we do that too. If it's glass and it's in your home, we're the team to call.
Call the Glass Doctor, we fix your pains. Oh, yeah.
This is Miller and Moulton.
So Mike, I believe it was, said that the U.S. women's team beat the junior Everblades. Okay. What junior Everblades team? Because I don't think they played. Is that like the juniors that are 20 and under? Or was it what level?
Oh.
What the junior premier team? So 18 and under, 20 and under. What is that? $21-year-olds can play junior? Didn't think they could. And remember, if they're 17 to 21 and playing junior hockey for the Junior Everblades, they're not that good. If you're 17 to 21 and you're good, you've moved on. You're playing in the USHL. You're playing. I mean, I'm just saying that I think the hockey's slow as molasses. I watched that whole game yesterday and it was like, whatever. If you like it, that's great, dude. That's fine. It's not my cup of tea. Everybody can like what they like. I have no problem with what you like, but I just don't like being told what I'm supposed to like.
Yep. Left Twix, we had that story in the starting five. Also, there was somebody else mentioned something that we also had in the starting five. But
You're listening to Miller and Moulton. And now, here's Mark Miller and David Moulton.
21 minutes past the hour. Thanks for being with us. Miller and Moulton, millerandmoulton.com, Miller_Moulton on X. Jeff Cameron in a little more than 15 minutes time. Seth Everett coming up at the top of the hour. It is a hump day after all. So, well, you know, it's golf season when Rory's opining about the sport as a whole. And, you know, he had played a couple events over in the Middle East, and you know, now he's made his way back to the States, and they're asking him about, you know, the sport as a whole and life in pursuit of happiness. And, you know, Rory hasn't really opined in about 3-4 months, Mark. So, you know, he was due. I mean, if you're the media, you know, you keep feeding the beast. Eventually, he gonna deliver.
Well, yes, you're right. But remember, sometimes in order for a Rory to opine, as you say, about the golf game, it takes someone who speaks about golf regularly to say something unbelievably stupid in order to get others to speak. And the person that says something unbelievably stupid more times than not is one Brandel Chambly.
So Chambly, was it last week or the week before? I think it was last week. The Players' Championship is advertising. I've seen the ads here locally in Jacksonville, and they're advertising, you know, because it's golf. As you know, the course is huge. I mean, you know, trust me, you show up, you want to buy a ticket, we got room. So in their ads, they refer to the players as major. Well, the Players isn't a major.
No, it's not.
Although one can argue it's the best field in the sport. Now, that's debatable. It is, because it doesn't have as many international players, and you could argue the Open Championship might be better. But the Players makes the case we've got the best field in the sport. Okay. So it was debated a long time ago, like 30 years ago, Mark, to me. It's not even 15, 20 years ago. This to me is a 30-year-old topic. Should the Players be a major? Is it the fifth major? And the LPGA Tour, for what it's worth, has 5 majors. It didn't always have 5. 15 years ago, it only had 4. And then they decided one of the international tournaments, okay, I think the Evian should be a major. And so, okay, so the women play 5 majors a year. And they count. You win it, it's a major. Oh, okay. So Brandel Chambly's like the Players should be a major.
And it's the best tournament, I think he said. I mean, Brandel doesn't just
right
walk to the edge of the diving board. He bounces up and down and does a triple Lindy into the pool.
I was going to say, I can respect it. I can always respect. How do you enter the pool with a cannonball? I'm getting wet, and people nearby are too, but I'm getting wet. We ain't dipping the toes in, and we ain't walking in slowly. Ooh, my knees are cold. Ooh, up to my thighs. No. I can definitely respect cannonballing into the pool, and Brandel cannonballed on the Players. Okay. Does anybody agree with him? I mean,
I don't think so, but for you and for our audience, we do have a large golf audience between our Tampa, Jacksonville, and Fort Myers, Naples markets. I did put it up as another poll question. We have our, which instrument would you want to play on National Guitar Day? But should the Players be a 5th major? Yes or no?
There was a time, and it's kind of a running joke, and nobody really can pinpoint the date. But when Jack won the 86 Masters, Ken Venturi says on the broadcast, that's number 20. Because at the time, winning the U.S. Amateur was considered a major championship, and Jack won 2. 18 pro, 2 U.S. Amateur, 20. And yet, by the time Tiger ripped off 3 in a row, it was no longer a major. Tiger did not begin his professional career with 3 majors. That 97 Masters win was his first major.
Yep. Absolutely.
Period.
They did not count the U.S. amateurs.
Right. So somewhere between Jack in 86 and Tiger winning the 94 U.S. Amateur, all of a sudden, it wasn't worthy of being a major win anymore. Okay. So Rory said, no. No. It's not a major. What do you call it? A cool tournament? It's a cool tournament, but it's not a major. And Rory's won it. I mean, Rory would go from what, 6 to 7? It'd be, you want to count it as a major? It works for me. Okay. It gets me into a whole other class. Gets me with Arnie, for goodness sakes. Okay, great. Count them. But anyway.
But to me, and David, they've been playing the Players for a long time. At this venue, not as long, obviously. I mean, the Players existed before TPC. But you can't go and add a major when a big part of this sport are all of those who won majors before.
Mm-hmm.
The majors have been set up. We know what they are. They've changed a little bit. PGA used to be match play. I get it. There have been changes throughout time. And we replaced certain tournaments with other tournaments when the U.S. Amateur was no longer a major. I think what was
Right.
it? The USAM, the British Am, the US Open, the British Open, right?
Right. That was Bobby. I
Bobby
think that was
Jones.
Bobby Jones's Grand Slam in 1930. I think those were the 4 that he won. Yeah.
When the Masters started in the 30s, that became a major.
Right.
And the PGA then became a major. So I get that we changed it, but there's a historical relevance to this that to me is what we wrap everything around in sports. And I'm bad at it, and I still love it. But without the historical context, well, now we have 5 majors. Well, then let's just say, for instance, we call it a major. And I don't know, Scheffler wins this tournament 17 times. Is he then going to be better than Jack? I just don't like changing the rules midstream.
The other thing, Mark, and I'm being serious about this, and I don't know the answer on the LPGA Tour. They added a 5th major. I don't know if that tournament had existed previously or not, but in all seriousness, if they decided tomorrow that the Players was a major, do we then add a major to all the people that have won the Players before, or are we only counting it as a major from tomorrow on?
Right.
Now, I would
say,
it
only count at Sawgrass? Does it not count before then?
Right. I would only if listen, it's not going to happen. It's not a major, but for what it's worth, if by chance they ever did it, I would only start it from the moment they declare it a major. I would not start awarding players as majors to those who have won it in the past. For what it's worth.
21,000 is the text line. It's up on X, that Mark Miller, soon to be the David Moulton, Miller_Moulton on X. And David, make sure you're logging on with your David Moulton. That's why you had trouble the first time.
Gotcha.
Hate to do that to you on air.
My bad.
But I sometimes I see the hamster going and I want to stop him as quickly as I can.
Well, Mark, you have to admit the hamster's never going fast. He's big, okay, and he's going slow, but it is true. He is often moving. Jeff Cameron's next.
Your roof is your home's first line of defense. At Pelican Roofing of Florida, Ronnie John and their team bring years of experience to protect what matters most, your family and your business. From residential repairs to large-scale commercial roofing, we deliver honest work, fair pricing, and quality you can trust. An upgrade on your roof can lower your insurance costs. Don't wait for a leak to turn into a disaster. Call the experts at Pelican Roofing today. 1-866-9-PELICAN. That's 1-866-9-PELICAN. Online at pelicanroofingcompany.com. CCC 1332512.
Let's talk the big differences between Floor Meisters and the big box store that sells flooring. Floor Meisters is family owned. They do flooring, not doors, nuts and bolts, or weed killer. They specialize in it. They know it. Floor Meisters backs their installer, so if there's ever an issue, good chance the boss, TJ, will come out and make it right. Floor Meisters prices beat the box stores every day of the week. When you think flooring, think Floor Meisters in Naples. FloorMeisters.com. Real people, real prices, real quality selection. The Floor Meisters, just keeping it real.
American Paint Supplies, celebrating 30 years in Naples, is proud to be the exclusive Farrow & Ball dealer in Southwest Florida. The best thing to come from the UK since the Beatles, Farrow & Ball has the colors and paints at American Paint Supplies. See why all the designers and painters choose Farrow & Ball. For 30 years, American Paint Supplies provides the perfect pairing of service and expertise on 6100 Shirley Street in Naples off of Pine Ridge or online at AmericanPaintSupplies.net. American Paint Supplies is your one-stop shop for all your coating needs.
Get ready, Southwest Florida. The Southwest Florida Ag Expo is back. Now's the time to save big with the Mega Pass. Your all-in-one ticket to the fun, one low price. Get your one-day admission and unlimited midway rides. Mega Passes available online through February 26th at swflagexpo.com. Don't wait. Grab yours. Get ready for roots, rides, and real fun. Lee County, building a better community through business, sports, and tourism.
This is Miller and Moulton.
Yeah, I'm done. Oh, Freebird is definitely not my Hotel California is probably the song I play best on guitar. Fun song to play. I can pick it right at the beginning, and there's not a lot of bar chords. Good morning, Jeff.
Good morning, boys. How is everybody? Mark, how
That
you
office.
doing?
I'm doing all right, man. That office looks spectacular.
Yeah, I got little trinkets and the like. I got to redo this thing. My lighting is obviously terrible, so I apologize for that. But
yeah, we
Seriously, have you looked at the other three people in the box? Really? Okay, seriously.
Although I will say one of us is in the hospitals, and my lighting might be the best.
And it is the best.
I was just about to say, David, I think that's a cheap shot. Mark is, dealing with fucking cancer, and you're like, the lighting's off, Mark.
You're right. And he does look the best of the four of us, by the
Yes,
way.
he does.
Yeah, I do think Monday I made a radio show. I made radio show history. I don't know if anybody's ever done a live show while getting chemo.
Wow. Brave man. Strong.
It is what it is. Trust me.
Once it was
over,
right.
I was done.
Right.
For about 27 hours.
If the chemo started at 8, if the chemo started at 6, he ain't finishing the show.
Mm.
Oh. I will say, Jeff, I have the entire floor, and I told him what I do, and I asked very nicely if I could do the show and things like that. They all know the show is 6 to 10. Everybody on the floor leaves me alone between 6 and 10.
Nice.
They don't come near me. And I've told them, I said, your job's more important than mine. Come on. And no, it can wait till 10.
Funny thing is, Jeff, both Mark and I have told, and we get calls during the show constantly.
You're listening to Miller and Moulton. And now, here's Mark Miller and David Moulton.
22 minutes until the top of the hour. Seth Everett will join us then for his weekly visit on Miller and Moulton, millerandmoulton.com, Miller_Moulton on X. Longtime friend of the show, outstanding at what he does on a daily basis. I don't think anybody covers Florida State sports better than Jeff Cameron. Warchant.com, Real Talk FM in Tallahassee. You can follow him on X at the letter J Cameron Show, the letter J Cameron Show. How are you?
I'm good. It's great to be back with you, boys. Good to see your faces. All's well.
Good.
All right. Some news yesterday of one Charlie Woods going to Florida State. Here is the fun part. He's not close to being the highest paid golfer on that Florida State recruiting class. Why golf? I'm not joking, Jeff. I mean, why have the money people said we need to win something? Damn it, let's win a golf title.
Well, it's interesting. The answer to that is Trey Jones, the golf coach. I know Trey really well. I did a show on Sirius XM on PGA Tour with him for 7 years, and he is really smart. He understood early on in his time at FSU, I'm a golf coach. I'm never going to get any money for players. They're not going to do what they do for football. And Florida State, obviously, as bad as they are at football right now, it's not because they don't give the largest percentage of their rev share money to it. They give over 90%. Last I checked, that was probably more than almost anybody in the country. And the other sports are going to suffer because of it in the sense of rev share money. So Trey went out long before NIL was what it was and really began to cultivate a coaches club. Basically, they have what's called the Seminole Masters. And these are wealthy alumni and boosters all over the country that love golf. These are businessmen. These are people that want to golf and they want to be around great golfers. And Trey's had several come through Florida State. And he's curried favor with those guys, and they contribute a lot of money to that program. He got a golf course built here that is second to none. He's been able to recruit at a high level. They've finished runner-up at the national championships several times. The elusive national championship is what he's after now. And maybe Miles Russell, who you're referencing there, and Charlie Woods will help bring him a title. They were close the last couple of years.
Now, this isn't for this season. This
Right.
is for, I mean, Charlie's a junior and so is Miles Russell, right? They're both not showing up on campus until the fall of 2027, correct?
That is correct. Yeah, that is. People have to hold their horses. I don't know how much, it moved the needle yesterday. I think obviously Charlie Woods is Tiger Woods' son, and everybody's aware of Tiger Woods. So there were plenty of people who were curious about that. But when they found out he's not playing this year, oh man, I got to wait till 27. But it will be a zoo.
Well, here's what I found interesting. Yeah, he's the first one in the family not go to Stanford. Obviously, Tiger went there, but the sister is a freshman at Stanford now. So that had to be working against Trey Jones from a recruiting standpoint. I mean, obviously, was an internal push, and I'm sure Stanford was making the push to bring him out west. But it is interesting that Florida State, the baseball natty is elusive, the golf natty is elusive. How important are these sports to the alumni? Because clearly, financially, the current athletic director doesn't give a damn.
Yeah, I think until football gets righted, the athletic director has no chance to do anything other than pour money into football and try to get it righted. But I will tell you that baseball is very important around here. David, I went when I was in school here. I would go and do my homework out there at Dick Howser Stadium, and they had so many heartbreaks. Runner up and get out to Omaha more than anybody's ever gone out to Omaha without winning one. So people, the tradition is great. Golf, not really. I think golf is popular here, but golf, and I'm a golfer. I love golf. It's a niche sport still, in terms of support from alumni and boosters. You have that very select few that I referenced, the Seminole Masters group that gives a lot of money to golf. But to me, this was less about, the money that they were committing to golf, because I'm not, and I don't want to talk out of school here, but from what I've been told, this was certainly not about money. I mean, Charlie doesn't need that. This was a lot more about Trey Jones and the recruitment of Charlie, not being kind of a fanboy the way so many people were, being around Tiger and Elin. And he basically, I was told that Tiger appreciated that when he asked Trey what practices were like, he said, very difficult. Most of my players don't like me until they leave. So, I think the Tiger appreciated that. He wanted to know that his son was going to be really pushed and not kind of coddled because he's Charlie Woods. A lot of people wanted to curry favor with Charlie because of the PR boon that you get by bringing him in. And obviously a lot more eyes will be turning to Florida State golf than ever before, despite, Brooks Koepka and Daniel Berger and the litany of great players. This is Charlie Woods. I mean, there are going to be a lot of cameras around these events that haven't been there before. And Tiger wanted to be sure that Charlie would be pushed, challenged. And I think Trey, that was the pitch Trey posited to Tiger.
What's the back end win for Florida State? It's skip natties, from the cameras, because golf isn't a revenue generating sport. It's not like all of a sudden you have a tournament, and I hope you get all those sounds in the background. I really do. But is there a back end win without a title financially for the Florida State golf program, and that therefore for Florida State? Like Texas Tech paid $1 million for that softball pitcher. They got to a natty. That's a net win. That's a lot of TV time, a lot of exposure. What's the net win, Jeff?
That's it. You just named it. I mean, it's a PR thing. I mean, honestly, I don't know financially that this is going to be a massive boon for Florida State, but it can't hurt. I mean, just yesterday alone, you had, I don't know, the last I checked, I was looking at various websites, ESPN.com and such. At one point during the day, it was like the third story listed. I mean, Florida State's name being mentioned in those kinds of stories across the country. And on your show today, for example, across the state, I mean, people are talking about Florida State. For once in the last 2 years, it's not about another loss on the road. It's about, the golf program and Charlie Woods, who, by virtue of being Tiger Woods' son, is going to be a celebrity.
Well, you mentioned the program, the albatross right now around the athletic department, even more so than the men's basketball program, which I think will turn it around here sooner than the football program. But is there any good news to report? Okay, the portal has seemingly come and gone. Gus retired, calling the plays. I guess, Norvell's going back to calling the plays. Is that a good thing? Just curious. Anything positive about the football program in the spring?
No. I would say that
Back to you in the studio.
Listen, okay. Here's a personal opinion. Others might disagree with this, but I'm not a Gus Malzahn fan, and I wasn't a fan of them hiring Gus Malzahn. I think it seriously limits the kind of personnel you can bring in at the most important position on the field. And so I was happy to hear that he retired. I don't think that experiment went very well. I think Mike thought it would go a different way than it did. I don't think Mike was very comfortable with the role of a CEO coach who's basically a rah-rah guy and not really in charge of anything. Florida State played its best football under Mike Norvell when he was calling plays. Now, obviously, the last time he was calling plays, it was an unmitigated disaster, and they went 2-10. But previous to that, lest we forget, they had an undefeated season, played very well before the injuries mounted. This is a guy that, basically cut his teeth, made his bones on being a great up-and-coming play caller. When he was at Arizona State, he got noticed because of it, got the head coaching job at Memphis. They were prolific on offense, and Mike called plays there. So I do think it's a good thing for Mike if he's ever going to get this turned around and regain some of his belief or swagger or whatever you want to call it. He's got to be in charge of something. A lot of people resented the fact that not only was Florida State football bad, guys, but people were wondering why they're paying their head coach $10 million to do nothing. Didn't call plays, isn't a great recruiter. They were building the infrastructure around him in order to give him the best chance to succeed, and they were failing. So at least now, if it gets turned around, you can credit Mike. If it fails, you can continue to blame Mike, but he'll be in charge of the offense this year. So I guess that's a positive thing because I'm not a big Gus Malzahn guy.
Well, you have to hope, I guess, and I think that's kind of what you're saying is that sometimes taking a step back from doing it is what you did and maybe looking at it from the 30,000-foot view, you can learn. And if there's hope, it's that he learned last year.
Yeah, I think that's true, Mark. He was very disconnected. I've covered him since he arrived, and he's a guy, to give him credit, was an open book. One of the first meetings that he had with the collective media that covers this program, he told everybody, I'm going to be incredibly fair to you guys. You be fair to me. I'll give you access to every practice. I want you to interview my players because I'm going to be proud of the way we build them. I want you to be able to ask me questions freely. I understand you have a job to do. And then in the last, year and a half, he just banned everybody from practice because they had a bad season. It's just not who he is. I think this guy's got to get back to who he was, confident and assertive.
Final one for me, Jeff, and we're talking with Jeff Cameron, warchant.com, Real Talk in Tallahassee. Follow him on X, the letter J Cameron Show, J Cameron Show. The debt story. Mm-hmm. How much of that is bookkeeping or is it all real? Because the story had the folks at Rutgers going, wow, that's a lot of debt.
I actually think the situation at Rutgers is a bit more dire, even though I understand your point. A lot of this was planned debt. You took on a lot of debt intentionally to build a massive and state-of-the-art football-only facility, and they had to renovate Joe Campbell Stadium. I mean, there were a lot of problems internally. From the outside, aesthetically, it looked fine, but on the inside and the underneath portions, it wasn't safe, quite frankly. So the massive debt incurred, much of it planned. The real problem they have is saddling themselves to a coach who at the time was being courted by Alabama, fresh off an undefeated season. And they went ahead so as to not lose him in their eyes and gave him this, what now appears to be in hindsight, absurd contract. And then he promptly flew the plane into the side of a mountain. And so once that happened, you are stuck. I mean, nobody in their right mind wants to pay somebody $60 million at the time of the first collapse, not last year's. Now it's down to a mere $54 million to walk away and not coach. So I think they figured, let's try to build everything around him and see if we can't salvage something while whittling this number down. That's no way to approach winning. That's no way to approach selling your product to your fans. Hey, we're stuck with him. Sorry, everybody. But come on out Saturdays. Yeah, I mean, that's not a good pitch, but that's their reality. And, you know, I think this would be the last year if Mike fails to get this turned around. I don't think you can continue to sell it. And I think there would be devastation in the stands in terms of people showed up last year. The renovations, the game against Alabama, all that intrigued people. They were all in. I don't think they would be all in this year if we start to see continued failures. So they have to hope that there's some semblance of success that allows them to carry on. If not, I think they're going to have to wear another financial setback and let him go.
Jeff Cameron, warchant.com, Real Talk in Tallahassee. Follow him on X, the letter J, Cameron Show, J Cameron Show. Hey, thanks, buddy. Thanks for joining us. Glad that you and the family are well. And, you know, maybe spring ball or something we'll catch up.
Always a pleasure, guys. You know, I love doing it. And thanks for having me on. Stay strong, Mark.
Right on, brother.
Jeff Cameron, kind enough to join us once again here on Miller and Moulton. Seth Everett in about 10 minutes' time. You know, there aren't many guests who are attached to something that we have who are more brutally honest than Jeff Cameron, though. I mean, obviously, he wants Florida State to win at everything. He lives in Tallahassee. He went there. Okay, it's a major part of his life. He still doesn't hold back, though, does he?
No, he doesn't. He and Bud both, but Jeff's in it. Bud's not in it. You know, there's a difference. Bud's now on the national scale. Bud doesn't live in Tallahassee. Jeff is in it. Jeff, you know, I've never worked for an organization that it was like that, but I do remember times working for a minor league hockey team when I would be brutally honest and fans would be upset with me. Take that, multiply it times 100,000 to what Jeff Cameron's in, because you don't hang around Tallahassee and not be fully vested in Florida State athletics if you're a sports fan. So wherever he goes, whether it's his kid's game, whether it's out to dinner, whether it's the grocery store, there's someone walking up to him wanting to talk Florida State, whatever.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. But I'm glad he disclosed, though, you know, how close he is with the golf program. Him and the coach are tight, and they did used to do a national show. So it was why we reached out, because he actually, you know, knows the inner workings of the program and how this came about, et cetera. So Jeff Cameron to talk about Charlie Woods going to Florida State in about a year and a half. Seth Everett's weekly appearance on Miller and Moulton is next. Thanks for listening.
Mark Miller for Sleep Treatment Direct. They are helping me with sleep apnea. And by helping me, I mean curing me. No more CPAP machine. No more snoring. No more tossing. No more waking up exhausted. Their expert team got me the right treatment, fast and hassle-free. If you want to feel energized and get rid of your snoring, call Sleep Treatment Direct today. 444-1741. That's 239-444-1741. Sleep Treatment Direct. Sleep safe and sound.
Let's talk the big differences between Floor Meisters and the big box store that sells flooring. Floor Meisters is family owned. They do flooring, not doors, nuts and bolts, or weed killer. They specialize in it. They know it. Floor Meisters backs their installer. So if there's ever an issue, good chance the boss, TJ, will come out and make it right. Floor Meisters prices beat the box stores every day of the week. When you think flooring, think Floor Meisters in Naples. FloorMeisters.com. Real people, real prices, real quality selection. The Floor Meisters, just keeping it real.
American Paint Supplies, celebrating 30 years in Naples, is proud to be the exclusive Farrow & Ball dealer in Southwest Florida. The best thing to come from the UK since the Beatles, Farrow & Ball has the colors and paints at American Paint Supplies. See why all the designers and painters choose Farrow & Ball. For 30 years, American Paint Supplies provides the perfect pairing of service and expertise on 6100 Shirley Street in Naples off of Pine Ridge or online at AmericanPaintSupplies.net. American Paint Supplies is your one-stop shop for all your coating needs. Your roof is your home's first line of defense. At Pelican Roofing of Florida, Ronnie, John, and their team bring years of experience to protect what matters most, your family and your business. From residential repairs to large-scale commercial roofing, we deliver honest work, fair pricing, and quality you can trust. An upgrade on your roof can lower your insurance costs. Don't wait for a leak to turn into a disaster. Call the experts at Pelican Roofing today. 1-866-9-PELICAN. That's 1-866-9-PELICAN. Online at pelicanroofingcompany.com. CCC 1332512.
Cape Coral Police Department is growing and they want you to be a part of it. They're hiring new officers. Starting pay is between $74,000 and $90,000 depending on your experience. And with a $10,000 hiring bonus, you could be making $100,000. Enjoy paid holidays, off-duty details, plenty of OT opportunities. They're also hiring dispatchers and professional staff. So go to capecops.com. capecops.com. Be brave, be best, be Cape.
Hey, Southwest Florida, Jimmy the Beef Guy here. For you that haven't tried us yet, you gotta get in here and try my favorite 5 Chicago-style sandwiches. I got the Italian beef, I got the Italian sausage, the sausage and beef, the Maxwell Street Polish, and our soon-to-be famous breaded steak. Call us at either one of our locations in Bonita Springs and Fort Myers. Hey, guys, when you're at the counter, don't call it gardenia. It's pronounced jardiniere.
This is Miller and Moulton.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I'm just trying to do something here. Trying to take down. Trying to take down the.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Can you hear us?
Yeah, switch. I just logged in on my computer.
Okay.
Switch. I'm leaving the. There you go.
Okay.
My computer needed to restart, and I wasn't sure it was going to do it in time, so I clicked on my phone. But then I was like, no, but the computer started, so let's do it this way.
Yeah, I'm just having trouble getting rid of the. There we go. Huh. Okay. How you doing?
I'm good.
Is that a
One
Largent?
more time.
Is that a Largent?
No.
No, he wasn't 81. He was 80.
I know.
81. Huh.
Why would I have this jersey?
Well, I know. Well, it's the Seahawks, so I know why you'd have it. But
Nope. Not the answer.
he played. Did he play for Syracuse?
No. It's funny.
Oh, last name, right?
Right. Hi, Mark.
Hi, Seth.
You give up?
Boy, Everett. Yeah, I forgot actually. No. What was his first name?
Gerald.
Gerald. Got it.
It's a Gerald Everett jersey. Because of course.
Right?
I got this not a bunch,
Yeah.
like 4 or 5 years ago.
I know I told you this, but my Heath Miller played for the Steelers. My wife being a Steelers fan, I have a great photo of my wife and daughter both wearing the Miller 83.
You're listening to Miller and Moulton, coming at you from the Floor Meister Studios. Floor Meisters, keeping it real. And now, here's Mark Miller and David Moulton.
Halfway home on this hump day, so we're right smack dab in the middle of our week, at least in Jacksonville, Tampa, St. Pete, Fort Myers, Naples. Final hour of the show, live Oak Lake City, surrounding areas, Port Charlotte, Venice, and surrounding areas. Miller and Moulton, millerandmoulton.com, Miller_Moulton on X. 2 poll questions today, right, Mark?
Yes, we have 2 poll questions. Today is National Guitar Day. If you could play one instrument, which would it be? Guitar, drums, or piano? And then should the players be a 5th major? Yes or no? Very simple. That Mark Miller, the David Moulton, Miller_Moulton on X.
Seth Everett joins us at this day and time. He has for over 15 years and down near 20, actually. How are you?
I'm good, guys. How are you? How are you both feeling?
Well,
you know.
Yeah. Got the Larry David, the walk, the shrug, the nod.
In fact, I do, Seth, I have part of what they want me to do every day on the ward that I'm in is they ask you, they want you to exercise. So there's a physical therapist that comes in and he does some exercises with me every day and wants me to do like 3 sets of those. And I try my damnedest to do them. Yesterday, not a good day. I felt like crap. But they also want you to walk a mile a day, which is 11 laps.
Yeah.
For, door to door and back is 1. Do that 11 times. And I feel like yesterday, particularly, because when I first got here, I felt fine. When the chemo first started, I felt fine. I'm walking these like I would be walking outside. I'm running past the nurses, get out of my way, move to your left, and everything's great. Yesterday, I was a cross between Larry David walking and then those old school videos you see of mobsters in their bathrobes walking down a New York street.
Tony Soprano trying to get the newspaper.
Right.
If you're joining us on Twitch or on our YouTube channel, you see Seth wearing a Seahawks jersey. There's a method to the madness, even though, yes, he's violating, one of Miller and Moulton's 5 hard rules, which is when you're a certain age, you don't wear a jersey. But what is the name on the back of the Seahawks jersey?
The extraordinary tight end, Gerald Everett. I saw this about 5 years ago, and my buddy Dave out in Seattle, who's just like, he said, "You have to get this jersey. That's perfect," because he knows that I have an Adam Everett baseball jersey and a Carl Everett baseball jersey. So how do I not have the Everett jersey? And but you don't wear these in regular time. You wear them when you play in a Super Bowl or an NFC Championship game. So this jersey's gotten a lot of use in the last couple of weeks.
124 games, 292 receptions, almost 3,000 yards. I mean, hey, that's not a bad career.
No.
Second round pick.
No, and the last name on the jersey, people will look at the jersey and they're not going to say, "Oh, is that a Gerald Everett jersey?" I say, "No, you got a jersey with your name on the
back." Did you wear it while watching the Super Bowl?
Yeah. I was the hit at the Super Bowl party. I walked in with the Seahawks jersey, and they said, "I wonder what team you're for."
I'm guessing, though, where you watched it, obviously in New Jersey, that everybody there had some combination of "I hate the Patriots" in them. So there was, we had a poll question up last week. Who are you rooting for? The Seahawks to win, the Patriots to win, the Patriots to lose.
Right.
And I'm
right.
guessing all of those in the Patriots to lose category gravitated toward you.
Yeah, my group, they're pretty savvy football people, and I will say, one of the discussions we had in the first half was a lot about how these Patriots are very likable. I've said that all along. I do the sports for iHeart. I do a bunch of Boston stuff, so I preview all these games pretty intensely, and I read all these articles and such like that. Vrabel seems like a really interesting dude. Drake May, how could you root against this kid? I mean, he's so earnest. Ramondre Stevenson is pretty impressive. Diggs, I liked. Kayshon Boutte, I was a fan of. They're a likable bunch. I mean, look, I spent 3 years doing the post game for the Seattle Seahawks. I've always, they've always been one of my 4 teams that I've had some kind of professional dealings with. So the Seahawks, I was pulling for the Seahawks, but I wasn't rooting against the Patriots by any stretch. None of the guys on that roster deflated any footballs.
Oh, here we go. Did you hear about the Diggs Cardi B breakup during the game?
My daughter told me that. Yeah.
Yeah. Mark, did you hear it?
I'm aware of it. Yes.
Okay. It sounds like the two of you are disgusted that I brought it up.
No. I think at this point you owe the audience an explanation.
All right, very quick.
Now you have to explain it, and that's
all right.
That doesn't make this segment better.
Fine. 10 seconds. So, thanks for the critique, Seth. So they're dating. They've been dating for a while. Cardi B spends $1.5 million on a post-game Super Bowl party. Apparently, Diggs has fathered a child with another woman. She notices the baby mama and the child in the front row at the game. She freaks out. She breaks up with him during the game, I guess. Left a message on the phone, text, what have you. And she didn't show up at the party, and he didn't show up at the party. And anyway, that's the Diggs Cardi B breakup Super Bowl story.
And now you know the rest of the story.
All right.
Seth, I got to ask you, because I know you're close to the Denver Broncos as well, because you worked for that organization.
Yeah.
So if it would have been the Broncos and the Seahawks, who would you have rooted for?
Well, that was Super Bowl 48, the MetLife Super Bowl that I attended. And I was in the press box, and I was sitting in the aux box of MetLife Stadium. They make a makeshift press box in the stands. And I was sitting with a bunch of Denver people, and the Denver Broncos got slaughtered in that game, if you remember, in Super Bowl 48. And I was like, I can't sit here with these folks. So I started texting every Seattle person, is there an empty seat in your section? Is there an empty seat in your section? And one of my buddies said yes. So I got up, and I was an actor. I was the phoniest human at Super Bowl 48. I went, I can't watch this. And I walked away. I made sure nobody was looking, and I sat in the Seattle section, and I watched the Seattle Seahawks beat the Denver Broncos. And then I went to their locker room celebration for a couple minutes just to say hello to some people that I knew. And then I remember somebody coming over to me and said, "Did you put your car at the Broncos headquarters in Jersey City? That bus is leaving. You better go." And I have I'm sweating. I was just in this little celebration, and I run as fast as I can to the other side of MetLife Stadium to get on the bus. I get on the bus, and I all of a sudden put on a complete poker face, and I just go, "Oh, that was terrible. That was terrible. Oh, that was terrible." I won an Academy Award for how phony I was juggling the Seahawks and the Broncos at Super Bowl 48.
Well, it's good because you never had one of those before, so congratulations.
Well, the irony of the Super Bowl being 20 minutes from my house, and it was my two teams. That was pretty wild.
No question about it. How into the Olympics are you? Like Mark said earlier, he's watched the mixed doubles curling, and he watched a little bit of the women's hockey yesterday. I watched skiing twice. That's it. That's all I've seen. I'm curious. You covered in Olympics for Westwood One, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
And loved the Gold Zone.
I love the Gold Zone. That's what I've been watching, every ounce of the Gold Zone. I've seen hours of it. But I mean, look, in my defense, it's been on in the background. It's not like it's just been something that's been on. Gold Zone is on Peacock, and it's a very much like, it has the same feel of the NFL Red Zone. I have not seen 1 second of NBC's main linear coverage. But I have watched the Gold Zone. It's 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. every day. And my guys, Andrew Siciliano does the midday, Scott Hansen does the afternoons. And so it's, familiar to me. And what they do is they go to sport to sport to sport to sport to sport. One of my old students, Bill Spalding, is calling the speed skating. I saw that because, when they threw to speed skating. And to me, it's the only format for an event like an Olympics with so many events going on. I'm not interested in their life stories. I just want to see the sports, and the Gold Zone presents that. It's a perfect format. They did it in Paris, and I fell in love with it, and I'm all in. I will tune that in as soon as I hang up with you guys.
Yeah, I got my first taste of how the Olympics should be covered when I was in college, because we had on our cable systems Windsor 9 and therefore CBC, and they don't care about the story of the athlete. They just give you the sport. And I'm like, oh, this is how you cover the Olympics.
Right.
So I always enjoyed that. But and Seth, I've got the time. I could watch all of this. I have had no interest, and I'm not sure why. I'm hoping that'll change. I think tomorrow the men's hockey starts. I know you hate Olympic hockey.
Today. It starts at 10:30.
Oh, it starts at 10:30. Okay, that's right. The better teams play tomorrow.
Yeah, but Sweden, Italy is this afternoon, and that's Jesper Bratt and Jacob Markstrom.
Oh, well.
Oh, well. I mean, anytime you can get a couple of New Jersey Devils in international competition, and that'll be the only
Jack
time.
Hughes, by the way, fourth line and scratched for game one.
Well, they've seen him play recently.
Hey,
just come on now. Truth's the truth. Harsh is harsh. Fair is fair. Sports with Friends, Hall of Justice. What do you got?
Hall of Justice this week. There's a new Disney Plus show that, again, Mark could watch because he's got time, called Wonder Man. It stars Yahya Abdul-Mateen and Ben Kingsley, reprises his role from Iron Man 3, Wonder Man. It's 8 half hours. That's the whole show. Watched it in about a couple of hours. It's pretty good. But it's Marvel, so there's a podcast on it. And, Wonder Man.
Okay.
It'll be out tomorrow.
All right.
If you're listening, I make a critical mistake in it, and I realized it as I was editing it. So I'm going to re-record that little segment, and you're not going to know.
Will you watch the hockey if only to try to make sure your Devils don't get hurt, or do you not watch with fear that they are going to be injured?
I will watch the same way I'm watching this Gold Zone. It's interesting. I watch it. I have it on, but I all I care about is that nobody gets hurt. I don't want anybody on the other teams to get hurt.
Yeah,
I mean, Trocheck or who from the Rangers is on this on the team?
There's a bunch of them, but Seth, it doesn't matter. Your team and my team are both shot. They're done. Okay, seriously. You might as well watch them intently because, they ain't going to be playing any hockey in the spring, okay? And that's just the fact of life. Seth Everett, Sports with Friends, Hall of Justice. Follow him on X at Seth_Everett. Seth, always the best. Continue to wear the jerseys. It seems to work for you, just not on this show, okay?
Team Cardi B.
Cardi B. Miller and Moulton.
American Paint Supplies, for nearly 30 years, is your one-stop shop for all your coating needs. If you are a designer, a contractor, a professional painter, or a weekend warrior, American Paint Supplies is the place where experts go to get expert solutions. At 6100 Shirley Street in Naples off of Pine Ridge, American Paint Supplies delivers the best solutions with the best products with the best support. Meet Gene and his team today at American Paint Supplies. Call 239-566-2700. That's 566-2700 or online at AmericanPaintSupplies.net.
Let's talk the big differences between Floormeisters and the big box store that sells flooring. Floormeisters is family owned. They do flooring, not doors, nuts and bolts, or weed killer. They specialize in it. They know it. Floormeisters backs their installer. So if there's ever an issue, good chance the boss, TJ, will come out and make it right. Floormeisters prices beat the box stores every day of the week. When you think flooring, think Floormeisters in Naples. Floormeisters.com. Real people, real prices, real quality selection. The Floormeisters, just keeping it real.
Your roof is your home's first line of defense. At Pelican Roofing of Florida, Ronnie, John, and their team bring years of experience to protect what matters most, your family and your business. From residential repairs to large-scale commercial roofing, we deliver honest work, fair pricing, and quality you can trust. An upgrade on your roof can lower your insurance costs. Don't wait for a leak to turn into a disaster. Call the experts at Pelican Roofing today. 1-866-9-PELICAN. That's 1-866-9-PELICAN. Online at pelicanroofingcompany.com. CCC 1332512.
Cape Coral Police Department is growing, and they want you to be a part of it. They're hiring new officers. Starting pay is between $74,000 and $90,000, depending on your experience. And with a $10,000 hiring bonus, you could be making $100,000. Enjoy paid holidays, off-duty details, plenty of OT opportunities. They're also hiring dispatchers and professional staff. So go to capecops.com. capecops.com. Be brave, be best, be Cape.
This is Miller and Moulton.
While the nurses are tremendous, and they are, you have to give it up for the techs because they've got the crap job. And I mean that literally. Joe, how old are you? I don't mean to be a jerk here, but how old are you? Because you know what the next question is. $35. So, Joe, while none of us know our end game, I always say 80 is a hell of a number. 45 more years. Do you realistically think the Browns will make a Super Bowl in your lifetime?
Yes, I do.
I don't. Now, the good news is the owner will die and someone else will run that franchise. You just said 80 is a good number, Johnny. I think anything past 80 is good.
I mean, it's higher than the average life expectancy of a guy and a woman for that matter. I mean, I don't know how you could knock us for saying, 80 is a good deal. I mean, I'm 60 and I'd take 80.
And I'm just trying to get to 57.
You're listening to Miller and Moulton. And now, here's Mark Miller and David Moulton.
21 minutes past the hour on this hump day. Miller and Moulton, millerandmoulton.com, Miller_Moulton on X. 2 poll questions. Should the players be a 5th major in golf? Yay or nay? And today's National Guitar Day. If you could shred, as Raj says, an instrument, okay, which instrument of choice would you shred? Guitar, drums, piano? Vote accordingly. That Mark Miller, the David Moulton, Miller_Moulton on X. Can I go back to a story that we brought up in the starting 5, but try to come up with a solution? So
Is this how much eligibility a kid gets?
Yeah. So if you missed it earlier and you haven't heard the story, Montana linebacker Solomon Tuliaupupu will get a 9th year of eligibility from the NCAA for the upcoming 2026 season. He was at USC for 7 years. He played 1.5 of those 7 years. He missed 5 full seasons because of injury. This will be his 2nd year at Montana. He was healthy last year, for what it's worth. Okay. We're taking COVID out of the equation. We're moving forward. You're the NCAA. You and I are going to set the rule. Let them challenge us in court. What's the rule going forward?
You can play 5 years upon your graduation from high school. Period. Now, some of this you end up having to collectively bargain with your players because, correct me if I'm wrong, David, the NFL rule was challenged once, and the NFL rule is pretty simple. You have to be 3 years removed from high school to play in the National Football League.
Correct. To be eligible, to be drafted, etc. Yep.
And Maurice Clarett tried to challenge that, and he lost.
And quick sidebar, I've thought, because that was the early 2000s, I've always thought if somebody were to try that now, they'd win in court. The attitude in a generation has changed completely. Tell me the difference between NCAA and the NFL.
I got you. The difference now, though, David, is that the player doesn't need to challenge it because what they're making, what that athlete that could challenge that is making at the collegiate level is every bit as much as they'd make in the early part of their NFL career. Now, I know they're not getting to that next contract as quickly, etc., but put it this way, David, it's more fair now than it was when Clarett was trying to challenge it.
Completely. Can't agree with you more.
But I would just say that a college athlete is allowed to play collegiate sports for 5 seasons post high school graduation.
Does it matter where those seasons are played?
Not to me.
So if you start at a JUCO and you play 2 years there, when you go play D2 or D1, you've got 3 years left.
Yes, you can transfer as much as you want now. No one's stopping you from getting the bag a couple of times.
Okay.
And I understand that, kids can get better. Kids may have been overlooked. And I know we're not taking all the high school seniors as seriously as we once did because it's much easier to get transfers.
Oh, not at all. This is the current state of college athletics is devastating to the really good high school athlete. It is. They're not getting nearly the offers from nearly the schools that they were getting a handful of years ago in all sports. That's just a fact of life. They're taking the older player who's already proven that they can play at this level, and they ain't spending time on these high school seniors and developing them. They'll let them develop somewhere else for 2 years and then grab them.
And you know what? I know you're right, but I actually have a personal account on this. I have someone that I know who may have been given the opportunity to play somewhere better. And he's playing at FCS or whatever the hell it is, Grand Valley State. I don't know of anybody that's happier than that young man and his mother and father that he's getting a scholarship to play college ball. He's been told by that college coach. I talk to the dad once a week. He's been told by that college coach he's got a good shot to start next year. You know what? If he starts and mauls guys up front because he happens to be a center,
right?
Well, you know what's going to happen to him?
Yeah.
He's going to get a shot to go somewhere else.
Yep.
So while you may be right, and you probably are on the grand scheme of things, I only know of one story personally. And he and his family are thrilled at the opportunity that's in front of them.
Let me throw one fly in the ointment, as Tim Brando likes to say. Does it matter if injuries happen? You say you want the rule to be you got 5 years post high school graduation. Okay. You don't care where you're playing. Okay. Does it matter if you get hurt? Does it matter if you have a proven family emergency where you took a year off and you went home to help ma, dad, whatever? I'm just curious. Are you willing to have any exceptions to the rule?
Well, I gave you what I think's a start. I know
Right.
that's not going to be the end all be all. The world doesn't work that way. Injuries make me very nervous, David, because it seems as if anybody can get a doctor to say that they missed the whole. Did they really miss a whole year because it? Or could they have come back? Or are they saying, well, I don't want to play her anymore and I can go transfer somewhere else? You know, would there be some sort of a board that would have to oversee every single injury to make it as fair as is humanly possible? Your second criteria, which is completely separate than the first, you threw two at once at me, and that's fine. But the second one, that would be one I would have far more leniency towards. If someone has to go home and take care of mom, take care of their little sister, whatever the case may be, I got to leave college for a year because my family's in disarray.
Right. Life. Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm with you, by the way. I have no problem with your rule. I'll back it 100%. You got 5 years post high school. Go. Okay. I mean, the only thing I wonder is, what if like you're in college for a year and then you decide you're going to play sports? Okay. That would be the only thing. When does the clock start? Does it start when you graduate high school, or does it start the first time you step on a varsity field in practice? That would be the only question I would have. I have no problem, by the way. Let's go. I'd pass it right now. You got 5 in all sports. Also, I'll give you 5, not just football and basketball. You got 5. And then the only exception, and we'll set up a panel, are family type, life situations, but not injury.
I mean, we'll just put mine out there. If my son was a college athlete right now and I needed a caregiver for a year to take care of me, and my son said, I got to quit playing college golf to go take care of my dad.
Right.
That seems like something that should allow him to have another year.
Listen, I have no problem submitting this for full vote and let the lawyers have at it. Honestly, you want to challenge this? Be my guest. Go crazy.
But what this would take, David, wait for it. We'll go back to it again. You might have to make the athlete employees.
Well, you and I are in favor of that. I know that we're probably in the minority, but we're going to end up being right. I'm telling you, we're going to end up being right.
It's the only way to get these rules passed is you're going to have to collectively bargain with them. And if you do, you're going to have the hand because they're only there, wait for it, for 5 years. Miller and
Your
Moulton.
roof is your home's first line of defense. At Pelican Roofing of Florida, Ronnie, John, and their team bring years of experience to protect what matters most, your family and your business. From residential repairs to large-scale commercial roofing, we deliver honest work, fair pricing, and quality you can trust. An upgrade on your roof can lower your insurance costs. Don't wait for a leak to turn into a disaster. Call the experts at Pelican Roofing today. 1-866-9-PELICAN. That's 1-866-9-PELICAN. Online at pelicanroofingcompany.com. CCC 1332512.
Get ready, Southwest Florida. The Southwest Florida Ag Expo is back. Now's the time to save big with the Mega Pass. Your all-in-one ticket to the fun, one low price. Get your one-day admission and unlimited midway rides. Mega Passes available online through February 26th at swflagexpo.com. Don't wait. Grab yours. Get ready for roots, rides, and real fun. Lee County, building a better community through business, sports, and tourism.
Mark Miller for Sleep Treatment Direct. They are helping me with sleep apnea. And by helping me, I mean curing me. No more CPAP machine. No more snoring. No more tossing. No more waking up exhausted. Their expert team got me the right treatment, fast and hassle-free. If you want to feel energized and get rid of your snoring, call Sleep Treatment Direct today. 444-1741. That's 239-444-1741. Sleep Treatment Direct. Sleep safe and sound.
Let's talk the big differences between Floormeisters and the big box store that sells flooring. Floormeisters is family owned. They do flooring, not doors, nuts and bolts, or weed killer. They specialize in it. They know it. Floormeisters backs their installer, so if there's ever an issue, good chance the boss, TJ, will come out and make it right. Floormeister's prices beat the box stores every day of the week. When you think flooring, think Floormeisters in Naples. Floormeisters.com. Real people, real prices, real quality selection. The Floormeisters, just keeping it real.
This is Miller and Moulton.
$25. You go to college when you're 17. My first semester of college, I was 17. No, I don't like that.
Yeah,
one.
that's pretty late to me, Mark.
Yeah, that's
My son's been out of college for a while. He's just, he turned, I guess he'll turn 27 in May, but yeah. I'm just reading this. Apparently McAfee's started a 2-week break yesterday.
Okay.
And comes back on February 25th. They work too.
Yeah.
They don't take time. I mean, it's not a comment on the show one way or another. It's like when I saw that, I'm like, you know what? They work pretty hard too.
RCB, you're right about that Alice in Chains song, but definitely the only AIC with harmonica in it.
Mark, no more free rides. You want them to be in school for 7 years and you say no more free rides. I do. No, junior hockey players don't. Junior hockey's a little different breed than the other college sports because they finish high school and go play junior hockey for 2 years before going to play college hockey. You would put an end to that really quickly.
You're listening to Miller and Moulton. And now, here's Mark Miller and David Moulton.
22 minutes till the top of the hour. Thanks so much for being with us. Miller and Moulton, millerandmoulton.com, Miller_Moulton on X. 2 poll questions. Today's National Guitar Day. If you could be really good at playing one instrument, shred it even, which instrument would it be? Guitar, piano, drums. Vote accordingly. And then it's a topic of conversation on the PGA Tour, maybe because they don't have enough topics. But should the players be a 5th major? They're saying major in their advertising for the event. The players, it's major. Okay. Brandel Chambly doubled down on it, maybe tripled down on it, cannonballed into the deep end multiple times on it, says it's the best tournament in the sport. Take a deep breath, brother. Take a deep breath. But
Brandel Chambly is a giant D-bag.
Wow.
He's a D-bag. Like, put it this way, he's one of those guys that if you said we booked him on the show, I would start the interview by saying, me and everybody that follows golf that I know cannot stand you. Thanks for coming on.
Wow.
I don't know. I have a lot of golf friends. I have a lot of people who are in the industry. There is not one of them that likes him. There's not one guy at my club that likes him. He is let's get clicks. He is now I can't think of the other dum-dum's name. Dallas Morning News guy, that First Take guy.
Skip Bayless.
He's Skip Bayless of golf.
Interesting. Wow, I never knew
he is absolutely worthless. how he is still employed. Well, I know why he's still employed, because he gets people like me pissed off, and that's good for them. And I understand you don't want everybody just kissing everybody's ass in that sport, but there's not kissing everybody's ass, and then there's just making outlandish takes to try to get attention made to you, and that's what he is.
Okay, but you're going way past he's a tool.
Oh, yeah, he's a D-bag.
Oh, wow, because I think he's a tool. Okay, it doesn't mean, by the way, you can't be a tool and make the occasional good point. Say
Yeah,
something
I've been doing
that
it for years.
Oh man, I'll tell you, I love you feeling better. I really do. Uh, but it just okay. Because there's been a lot of talk in recent years. It seems as if the booths have settled down in golf. The NBC and the CBS booths have settled down, and a little bit of a newer guard, a player that's just finished their career, whether they're podcasters, Golf Channel people who have gotten promoted to other networks, and the networks have seemingly found their voices. Okay, and they're going forward with what they have, good or bad. But it wasn't that long ago. NBC moved on from Azinger, and there was a lot of talk. Should Chambly be the guy in the booth? And at the time, NBC owned the Golf Channel. It would have been real easy. I mean, the insignia on the top left corner of the check stay the same.
And I think they chose wisely.
Okay.
I think Jonathan Wagner should get a lot more time for what it's worth on golf. He seems to be the freshest voice out there.
Well, CBS hired him. That's a promotion. And, they're 2 tournaments in. I think they have big plans. I think they're just trying to figure out how are they going to do it.
Yep, I agree. He did such a good thing with recreating the shots on the Golf Channel. They tried to do that with Scheffler's putt, and he, hit it 47 feet past the hole. But they'll find it, I hope, because they're good at golf, and he's good at what he does.
And at Phoenix, I believe they had him on the 16 tee, right? Didn't they one time say, "Hey, you stand in front of those people, here's your 8-9 iron, because what was that hole, like 160 something yards? Here, knock yourself out, big fella." And I guess he hit a really good shot. And I'll give him credit. They just do one take.
Right.
If he hits a bad shot, he's got to wear it.
Right. And there's not warm-up swings, warm-up shots. Right. It's just hit it.
Right.
And look it. And it's only because I had a friend who tried to qualify for the U.S. Open with him. They played 36 together. Another buddy of mine caddied for my friend. These two would walk on broken glass for him. They said he was that nice of a guy.
Wow. That's, especially in a U.S. Open qualifier, that's serious business.
Right. And then, and then it's all day. And then it turned into a little bit of all night. So they spent a lot of time with him, had a few extras after. And I mean, both of them are like, he's the man.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. All day together with complete strangers. And then it's like, let's go out, get a little food and drink together. That's fantastic. That is awesome. Oh, wow. I will say, just for 30 more seconds on the subject of golf, it was interesting. Patrick Reed and Chris Gotterup were the 2 guys who won last week on the 2 big tours, both from the U.S., both not on last year's Ryder Cup team. Okay. People are noticing. People are already like, yeah, we got to go with some new guys. Okay. We got to go with some new guys. Don't care if they got the model swing or the popular or this, that, thing. We got to get serious about this. Okay. We got to put the best damn team forward. And I definitely think, since it's a road game in a year and a half, I'll say it again. I so want Patrick Reed on the team. I think they need him. I think there are a lot of people who'd be intimidated in that environment, and I don't think he's one of them.
I agree. And to follow up quickly on the eligibility rules that Miller and Moulton finished in 38 seconds or less.
Come on now. That was a solid 10-minute segment.
Right, but we got through the big rules in a minute or less.
Well, I agreed with everything you said.
Of course, it had to draw some conflict and some people who disagree with us vehemently.
Right.
And they all are college hockey people. I don't know what to tell you, college hockey person. Put up or shut up. Because college hockey has its own set of rules. And for whatever reason, while most kids go to college after high school, hockey players go play 2 years of junior before they go play college. Whether it's in the USHL, now you can play Canadian junior. Here's the thing. It's all sports. If you ain't good enough at 18, don't know what to tell you.
I was going to say, isn't playing juniors the same as going to a JUCO? I mean, don't we have to treat it the same?
Yes.
Now, I understand the sport is set up differently than most sports. I get it. But, it's the same with basketball. The rules that we want to implement are the same for the European player in basketball. Now, I guess, we have to decide. The other thing we have to put in there, though, is you go outside of the collegiate ranks and draw a check, you're done.
Any pro league? I'm not saying no.
I know
because in the basketball world, that's a big deal.
It is. They're trying to figure out what is essentially in European basketball. It's like Canadian juniors in hockey. Okay, kids leave school and they go and they play 2-3 years, and then it's like, okay, now I'm going to whatever it is, be a pro or try to go to an American college. I get it, but to me, don't they leave school? I mean, isn't our thing, it's 5 years post high school? Is it degree, right?
Right. Just when you get your high school degree,
right,
you're then collegiately eligible.
Right. So if by chance in Europe, they've got a system, okay, do we have to then consider this for Canadian juniors?
Yeah. Now they have grade 13. It gets them an extra year.
But I think you and I are just at the point in which it's like, listen, we got to just draw the line. Okay. You want to challenge it in court, be my guest. Here's where we're drawing the line. It seems common sense to us. There are exceptions to rules. Go for it. But I
know of a kid, played U.S. junior hockey, then played a year of college. Didn't like the way that was working out. I believe his next stop was Canadian junior hockey. My guess is so he can get a better NIL deal to play U.S. college hockey. That's kind of gaming the system to me. I don't begrudge the kid for doing it because that's the system that's there. And if we're my kid, I would want him to probably do the same thing. But I'm not looking at it for a kid. I'm trying to look at it for all kids.
I mean, is it 5 years post high school degree? And in the certain sports that set it up where you're kind of a mini pro beforehand? I mean, do we have to put an age limit on it? I mean, I don't want the clock starting when the kid's 20.
I don't either.
I'm sorry. I'd really like it where by 23 you're done. And maybe that's unfair. I understand some people start, their post high school life at 19 or 20. I get it. Not 17 or 18, but I think 6 is too many, by the way. Like I thought about, instead of 5, do we give him 6?
No, it used to be 4. It was 4. I know there was a red shirt, but it was 4 years of eligibility. We're basically giving you 5. We're giving 4 years of eligibility and your red shirt and telling you can play all 5.
Right. And actually 55 years ago, it was only 3.
Right. How many points would Wilt have scored then?
How about Maravich if he had played 4 instead of 3? My goodness. So I get it. I get it. The whole European basketball, the hockey thing. Yeah, it complicates it. But I'm sorry.
And for those bringing up the football player that played minor league baseball, when played the football, we wouldn't allow that anymore. Chris Wenke, sorry.
Yeah, that's right. He would have been done. You know, he was like, what, 7 years removed from 6, 7 years removed from high school when he then went to go play college football.
And I mean, everybody is trying to put different, service members, soccer, volleyball, basketball, all work. I don't know what to tell you. You guys seem to want college athletes to play forever. You're the same people that bitched about the portal and bitched about players getting paid for years on this show. Now there's a system for kids to get paid that Miller and Moulton have been for way before all of you. All of you. And now we're trying to say there needs to be some limitations, and we're wrong. It is amazing how quickly you change.
I'm surprised because we've been hearing now for a year and a half that you guys want rules. You want structure. Okay. Within the madness, you want some structure. We're trying to give it structure. I'm surprised where this is coming from.
I'm not, David. To err is human. To bitch, that's really human. That's really human.
I don't know. This is running counter to a lot of the mail, if you will, that we've gotten in chat rooms and text lines and all that stuff.
Where Miller and Moulton are wrong. Someone did that segment for a while.
It's actually one of his best segments where he was right and where he was wrong. Okay. It's actually one of his best segments.
The Diamond District bonus hour coming up on the other side. The Pelican Roofing of Florida text line is open. Keep telling us where we're wrong at 21,000. If you've not texted the show, you need to text the keyword Miller. You can follow that with an FU if you'd like and tell me where I'm wrong if you so desire. Couple of poll questions up today. It is National Guitar Day. If you could play one instrument well, what would it be? Guitar, drums, piano? And should the players be the fifth major? That Mark Miller, the David Moulton, Miller_Moulton on X. The Diamond District bonus hour. That's what's on the other side. Thanks for listening. MillerandMoulton.com.
American Paint Supplies, for nearly 30 years, is your one-stop shop for all your coating needs. If you are a designer, a contractor, a professional painter, or a weekend warrior, American Paint Supplies is the place where experts go to get expert solutions. At 6100 Shirley Street in Naples off of Pine Ridge, American Paint Supplies delivers the best solutions with the best products with the best support. Meet Gene and his team today at American Paint Supplies. Call 239-566-2700. That's 566-2700 or online at AmericanPaintSupplies.net.
When Glass Doctor replaces your windshield, we don't just send you on your way, we send you off protected. Your local Glass Doctor includes the industry's only 12-month windshield protection plan at no extra cost. That means unlimited chip repairs and even a one-time replacement if needed. High-quality service backed by real peace of mind, right here in your neighborhood.
Glass Doctor, Glass Doctor. Call the Glass Doctor, we fix your pains. Oh, yeah.
Exclusions Restrictions apply. See your local glass doctor for details.
Your roof is your home's first line of defense. At Pelican Roofing of Florida, Ronnie, John, and their team bring years of experience to protect what matters most, your family and your business. From residential repairs to large-scale commercial roofing, we deliver honest work, fair pricing, and quality you can trust. An upgrade on your roof can lower your insurance costs. Don't wait for a leak to turn into a disaster. Call the experts at Pelican Roofing today. 1-866-9-PELICAN. That's 1-866-9-PELICAN. Online at pelicanroofingcompany.com. CCC 1332512.
Cape Coral Police Department is growing and they want you to be a part of it. They're hiring new officers. Starting pay is between $74,000 and $90,000 depending on your experience. And with a $10,000 hiring bonus, you could be making $100,000. Enjoy paid holidays, off-duty details, plenty of OT opportunities. They're also hiring dispatchers and professional staff. So go to capecops.com. capecops.com. Be brave, be best, be Cape.
Hey, Southwest Florida, Jimmy the Beef Guy here. For you that haven't tried us yet, you gotta get in here and try my favorite 5 Chicago-style sandwiches. I got the Italian beef, I got the Italian sausage, the sausage and beef, the Maxwell Street Polish, and our soon-to-be famous breaded steak. Call us at either one of our locations in Bonita Springs and Fort Myers. And guys, when you're at the counter, don't call it gardenia. It's pronounced Jardiniere.
At the Diamond District, we've built our inventory since day one.
We never pass on beautiful jewelry. For years, we've chosen exceptional diamonds and fine jewelry.
And when you buy with love for 2 decades,
your vault fills with extraordinary jewelry. That's why we're emptying the vault now through Valentine's Day. Enjoy rare pricing on jewelry chosen to celebrate love, connection, and commitment.
Will you be mine? Starts with diamonds from the Diamond District. Hablamos Espanol.
Visit Jason and Todd at the Diamond District.
This is Miller and Moulton. You're listening to Miller and Moulton, coming at you from the Floor Meister Studios. Floor Meisters, keeping it real. And now, here's Mark Miller and David Moulton.
Final hour of the show on this hump day. It's the Diamond District bonus hour. Thanks for being with us. Miller and Moulton, millerandmoulton.com, Miller_Moulton on X, kicking a lot of things around today, from football to baseball to the Olympics, basketball, college eligibility with a Montana linebacker getting a 9th year of eligibility. What, if anything, do you want to do about that? So, Tiger's son going to go to Florida State. Of course, he's a high school junior right now, so it's not going to be tomorrow. But a lot that we have been kicking around. The odds are out for next year in the NFL, at least in terms of, winning the Super Bowl. I think the Seahawks and Rams are almost co-favorites. And also just picking the division winner. And right now, of the 8 division winners from 2025, 6 of those 8 teams are not favored to win it in 2026. Only the Seahawks and the Eagles are the odds-on betting favorite in their divisions right now. Mark, I don't know if you saw this, but we've lost 3 bowl games in like the last month, including in the last day. We lost what started out as the Motor City Bowl.
Sad day. In a game once played at the Pontiac Silverdome.
Mm-hmm.
Then moved to Ford Field.
Yep.
That brought the almost best of the MAC to take on one of the worst from the Big Ten in an annual confrontation like no other.
However,
names like the Quicken Lane Bowl.
Yep.
The Rocket, maybe a Mortgage Bowl. I don't know. How could we let it slip away?
See, I think you're looking at this all wrong. I'm sorry, my friend. I think you're looking at this all wrong. What is one of the bucket item things for you going forward?
Well, that, of course, is my dream.
Right?
And David, I think I was born too late or too early for this dream to become a reality.
I don't know.
Because I don't know if bowl games were to survive. But if they are to survive, they will not survive in Motor City. But yet, could they survive in Fort Myers?
There you go. That's what I'm saying. Okay. The matchup that you just mocked for the last handful of years, because before that, it was one of the worst ACC bowl teams playing one of the best, if not the best MAC team. Okay. So now, yes, the last half dozen years, it's been one of the lesser Big Ten teams against one of the better MAC teams. Okay. Well, that's, MAC in Big Ten country, Michigan. What highway goes from that game to where you want your game?
Well, that would be I-75, David.
Bingo. You mean and you have always said, okay, in your dream of being, one of the guys on the field wearing the sport coat. What color is it again?
Key lime green, David, with pink flamingos. Key lime green with pink flamingos.
Tell me, this is even better than I think you envisioned. Okay, if really one of the best from the MAC, if not the best, against one of the worst Big Ten bowl teams in Southwest Florida.
Hey, David, in all seriousness, if that bowl picked up and moved from Ford Field, and I know we don't have a venue, but just saying you could configure JetBlue Park for a bowl game.
Right.
And the problem is it doesn't hold enough. I get it. But let's just say you could get somehow figure out a way, or even, it's also not big enough where they play the soccer game in Naples, soccer team in Naples. But if you had a 15,000 to 20,000 seat venue, do you and you hate bowl games?
Yes, I do. Most of them, yes, I do.
Particularly bowl games of which I speak.
I was going to say these are the games I want to eliminate. There's no question about it.
You give me a Big Ten school in a MAC school,
right,
in Southwest Florida,
sold out. Sold out. Every time. Every time. Every time. That's what I'm saying. Of all the places in the country that could save this matchup, tell me the 239 is not it.
Get to work, Melky. I'm available all day long. BST, baby. BST. That's a free plug right there, brother.
There we go. It's what we're talking. Business, sports, and tourism, right? And this would cover all three. The B and the S would lead right to the T. Come on.
Serve BLTs. It would be fabulous.
I'm just saying.
And you know what? Even for our old producer, you know what we might want? A parade.
Oh boy. Here we go. I don't know about that. That time of year, mid-December, right before the holiday. I don't know. Can you really get people to stop what they're doing for a parade?
Doesn't need to be a big parade. How about an event?
Oh, Mark, I don't know.
Instead of a parade, you know what's much more Southwest Florida than a parade is a happy hour somewhere. A block party, if you will.
I mean, is there a place between Tampa, St. Pete, and Southwest Florida we could pull this sucker off? Okay. I think people would travel 40 to 60 minutes to go to this game. I really do. Just curious. Just wondering. I don't know if you had this. When I was growing up, I played Little League. Opening day included a parade. And all the teams would be dressed up in their uniforms, but not everybody would play. There'd be like one or two games. The whole league didn't play. Only like 4 of us did. Some years it was just 2 of us. Okay. Is that how we'd have to do the parade? We'd almost have to have, Akron and I don't know, Purdue. Okay. Just have a little march somewhere, from the hotel to the game.
Let's call it a drum line, David.
Just I don't know if we can get a little more extravagant than that, because this way we already got the 15 to 20,000 people that are going to that location beforehand. They can line up and then they can walk in the stadium.
We could make it like a soccer game where everybody marched in together.
Right.
Big tailgate area.
Sure.
Which is why JetBlue has great tailgating ability.
Yeah, huge parking. Yes,
huge parking areas.
Right. Yep. Gotcha. I'm just saying. Apparently, L.A., the Bahamas, and now Detroit. Those bowls are done. All in the last month. We're out of here. I mean, between the makeup of the Detroit Bowl and the Bahamas, hello. I think there's an opening here, because
there's the guy at Hertz that knows he's getting a phone call today too if he's listening. Don't kid yourself.
I mean, you don't think the 4-letter network doesn't want to televise whatever it is you guys put together? Okay, they're in. There might have to be a number next to it. Okay, but they're televising this sucker. You're going to give them a Big Ten team in a game? Seriously? You don't think this is going to make the survey?
State taking on 9-3 Northern Illinois.
Hello. Absolutely.
Although Northern Illinois is in the Mountain West this year, aren't they?
Oh, yeah, they are, along with North Dakota State. My favorite part of that story is, so the money people with North Dakota State are so bored with winning the national championship damn near 10 out of 12 years, something like that. They're so bored by it. They're willing to foot the $15 million bill to join the Mountain West. And oh, by the way, they're getting virtually no revenue from that conference for the first 2 years they're in it. I guess that's an NCAA thing also. They don't want FCS schools moving up. So one of the financial incentives to not to is, you don't get squat. Oh, okay. Now that's bored, Mark. I mean, how bored do you have to be to go, sure, I'll contribute millions and we ain't getting any money for the first couple of years? Yeah, that's fine. It beats staying where we are. Well, how bad is it where you are? We win the damn natty every year. It's boring.
Is there fracking money that I don't know about in North Dakota, David?
Well, that was the western half of the state too. That's but not that Bison alum don't live in that half of the state. But it's my favorite part of that story. They're SMU. For the first 2 years of the Mountain West, they're SMU.
Well, it was why I brought up the East Carolina thing last week. When I saw the Mr. Beast ad during the Super Bowl, I'm going, that's the guy that's going to give East Carolina $100 million.
Yep.
Good for him. He's young. He's got
Right?
lots of money.
Yeah. And he's bored. He wants to do something with it. Okay. I mean, if we were the athletic department at ECU, I think we could make him happy.
How much access would you give someone if they would think about what he does? Everything's out on the internet. How much access would you give him if he were willing to give you $100 million?
Well, I'd give up my parking spot.
No. Would you allow everything to be filmed? Would he have access to everything?
He'd have access to a lot, Mark. I mean, a lot. You know me, I'm a disclosure guy anyway, but 80% I'd be willing to give away right away. Right away. And I'd be more interested in what the athletes' concerns are instead of the coaches.
I agree with you there. It is fascinating. All of a sudden, we've got the SMUs, the NDSUs, and maybe ECUs that are now going to be players in college football. The times, they are a-changing.
Your roof is your home's first line of defense. At Pelican Roofing of Florida, Ronnie John and their team bring years of experience to protect what matters most, your family and your business. From residential repairs to large-scale commercial roofing, we deliver honest work, fair pricing, and quality you can trust. An upgrade on your roof can lower your insurance costs. Don't wait for a leak to turn into a disaster. Call the experts at Pelican Roofing today. 1-866-9-PELICAN. That's 1-866-9-PELICAN. Online at pelicanroofingcompany.com. CCC 1332512.
Honey, you want to come out? I haven't seen you since Glass Doctor installed our custom shower enclosure.
No thanks.
Well, you can't keep eating breakfast in the shower, and laminating your magazines is getting expensive. You remember we have guests coming over tonight, right?
Oh, I'm sure they'd love to see the shower.
It's our neighbors, and I highly doubt they want to be hanging out in our bathroom.
The shower's so good, you'll never want to leave. Visit glassdoctor.com today and schedule an appointment online.
American Paint Supplies, for nearly 30 years, is your one-stop shop for all your coating needs. If you are a designer, a contractor, a professional painter, or a weekend warrior, American Paint Supplies is the place where experts go to get expert solutions. At 6100 Shirley Street in Naples off of Pine Ridge, American Paint Supplies delivers the best solutions with the best products with the best support. Meet Gene and his team today at American Paint Supplies. Call 239-566-2700. That's 566-2700 or online at AmericanPaintSupplies.net.
Let's talk the big differences between Floor Meisters and the big box store that sells flooring. Floor Meisters is family owned. They do flooring, not doors, nuts and bolts, or weed killer. They specialize in it. They know it. Floor Meisters backs their installer. So if there's ever an issue, good chance the boss, TJ, will come out and make it right. Floor Meisters prices beat the box stores every day of the week. When you think flooring, think Floor Meisters in Naples. FloorMeisters.com. Real people, real prices, real quality selection. The Floor Meisters, just keeping it real.
This is Miller and Moulton.
tell you what, I think I like the Clemson baseball coach because they're talking about redoing the schedule in baseball, that it starts too early.
Okay.
Because I think baseball's just gotten underway. I think this week it gets underway. The Clemson baseball coach, Eric Bakich, okay, he says, we have 20 home games in February and March and 10 home games in April and May. It's like, what the hell?
I don't know when they wanted to start when, in January?
No, they want to push. No, Eric's like, he
So
wants
so
no,
they want the Natty in like August?
Well, that what I'm wondering, don't you have to reduce the number of games? Don't you have to go, hey, okay, if it's too early, it's too early. But I don't know what to tell you. Guys are already playing the College World Series 6 weeks after graduation. How much longer do you want to go? I mean, new school years begin July 1st, and they stop playing baseball like 10 to 15 days before that. I got to admit, I love the fact that Bush 43 and Laura go to SMU basketball games. It has nothing to do with Andy. I just love the fact that, they've got front row seats and they don't use them every game, but they probably go to about a third of the home games. I love it. I just think that's so cool. I got something if you don't have anything.
Sure, do it.
It's Olympic hockey. Men's.
Welcome back to Miller and Moulton. Text the guys what's in your mind at 21,000. That's 21000. And now, here's David Moulton.
21 minutes past the hour. Good, bad, and ugly. What's on tap? Today was the day when. Some final thoughts, a pick or two, all coming up. So, 2 or 3 things to throw at you. You ready?
Throw away. I've got my mitt on. Pitchers and catchers have reported.
There you go. And I know you're making fun of me while saying that, and I don't care. I don't care. I announced yesterday on the show, I am all in on the baseball season this year because we ain't having baseball in 2027. So I am soaking it all up this year. I'm even into spring training. All right. I think you should go to a spring training game if you haven't gone in a while. Once again, we're not having baseball next year, okay? The players are saying it out loud. It ain't happening.
Yeah, okay. This is, if we want to get into where Miller and Moulton were right, we've only been telling you this for 2 years.
At least.
2 years. Go ahead.
All right. So where was I? This halftime show, there's viewers, my world, actual people watching the boob tube. That's me. Okay. Apparently most of the rest of the world, their social media clicks, that sort of deal. So apparently it was just announced that the halftime, 4 billion views in the first 24 hours of the performance.
Okay.
Needless to say, there ain't never been anything get that many clicks before that involved the NFL. Apple, I would think, is happy, but that's just me.
I didn't realize, by the way, I found some things out after the fact that maybe I should have known, but that was an actual marriage.
Yeah, oh, I know. I didn't know that.
It started because they had sent him an invitation to their wedding. And as the thing was going on, he's like, you know what? Yeah. Why don't I accept your invitation? In fact, why don't you get married at the Super Bowl? So I thought that was kind of cool.
The Giants just hired Brian Callahan to be their quarterbacks coach. He interviewed for the OC job that went to Matt Nagy, and me and a lot of other Giant fans were like, seriously, Matt Nagy? You couldn't give it to a guy, I don't know, a little fresher, a little more current. I don't know. How about the guy who worked with Joe Burrow? Help make him, Joe Burrow. No? Well, so apparently the Giants were able to double dip. They got the one guy as OC, and they got the other guy as quarterback coach. But all right, this is what I really wanted to throw at you, though. So after 12 years, the NHL returns to the Olympics today.
Yep.
Men's hockey. It's been 12 years.
Hour and 20 minutes.
So we've got a few rules that are different from the last time we had men's hockey at the Olympics. Have you heard about the overtime?
I've not paid any attention.
It's exactly the way they do it in the NHL.
Oh, wonderful.
Which means 5 minutes of 3-on-3 and then a 5-round shootout. Now, I don't know if they then keep going until we get a winner like they do in the NHL. But that's the standard overtime for the preliminary rounds. In what's called playoff overtime, which would be the 4 quarterfinals and the 2 semis, and I think also the bronze medal game, it's a 10-minute overtime at 3-on-3 and then a 5-round shootout. Okay. Gold medal overtime, just like the Stanley Cup playoffs. We go till somebody scores.
Nice. I'm happy to hear that.
Except we do it at 3-on-3.
Oh, that's stupid.
I can't believe it. I can't believe it. I don't know what's worse. Okay, what was it? Euro Olympics? No, it was 92 with Forsberg scoring against Corey Hirsch in a shootout after a 10-minute overtime that nobody scored, and a gold medal was determined in a shootout.
Yep.
Okay. No fighting. You fight you're
Right.
out. And I think you're out of the competition, not just the game.
Okay.
Point system. 3-2-1. They're doing it. Regulation
Oh,
win
you're
3.
so happy. You feel like
I-
a win. Is today a win for you?
Yes. I hate.
Are you going to go through a drive-through with both arms up and yell victory?
I am hitting a drive-through too in between my doctor appointment and a noon
No kidding.
appointment. Yeah, it is a day that.
When's
ends
the
in Y.
last day you didn't hit a drive-through?
Oh, I didn't hit a drive-through yesterday. I mean,
Really?
my wife went to Jersey Mike's and picked me up lunch, but I didn't hit a drive-through. Does that count?
Okay.
That Jersey Mike's
Yeah,
not a
that counts.
drive-through.
Jersey Mike's isn't a drive-through.
Yeah. Actually, I've been in a drive-through. Come to think of it, I've been in a drive-through since last week.
Look at you. All grown
Yeah.
up.
I just so 3-2-1, regulation 3 in this crazy overtime. If you score, you get 2 points, and the other team gets 1. And if it goes, there you go, 3-2-1. So that's the difference between what it used to be and now what it is. Why couldn't they do 4-on-4 even instead of 3-on-3? I mean, 3-on-3 is not hockey. It's really not. It's I feel like it was street hockey, back in our day when, you had the one guy on every team who goal hanged, and you're just like, man, if we can come up with a save, we can bank it off that Chevy, and Mark's hanging, down there about 30 feet from the other net. I just don't get it.
I don't like it either. But let me ask you this. What would you rather see determine the outcome of a game? A 3-on-3 overtime or a shootout? You only get to pick one, and neither's not an option. Exactly.
I guess.
No. I understand where you're at, David. And I'm only talking because I know you have nothing to say right now.
I guess I would choose 3-on-3. I think, but I mean, I absolutely hate it. I mean, if it's tied at regulation in the gold medal game, we're either going to have it decided. No, we are going to, because there's no shootout. It's endless 3-on-3 for the gold medal until somebody scores.
It won't take too long, that's for sure.
I hate why it's the gold medal. We can't just play endless overtime. Seriously. Just about everybody playing in the game plays in the NHL. It's for the gold medal, for goodness sakes. What's the problem? What? NBC's
They approved
complaining?
this. They approved this.
Golly. Well, the players just wanted back in. The players just said to Bettman, can you get us back in the damn Olympics, please? We'll sign whatever you want.
So Olympic hockey starts today. I need it too. Got to be honest with you. I'm watching my college hoop. I'm enjoying my college hoop, David. But the NHL has been a big part of my life this year.
Mm-hmm.
The wife's team's good, the Penguins. They've been an interesting team to watch. My team's been relevant for the first time in a long time.
Right.
And anybody who's listened to the show knows I like the Lightning. I like the way they run their organization. I'm sorry, their organization.
There you go.
It's one of the best organizations in sports, and they've got it going on. So between those three teams, there's generally an early game on that I've got some interest in. And then if you don't want to watch a team play dirty, you can watch the Panthers.
Look at you.
The modern day Philadelphia Flyers. Who knew it would be the Florida Panthers? Dirtiest team in sports. And I like the Panthers. I got nothing against the Panthers. Is there a dirtier team in sports right now than the Florida Panthers?
I will think about it during the commercial break and answer you right before the good, bad, and ugly, which is next.
Your roof is your home's first line of defense. At Pelican Roofing of Florida, Ronnie John and their team bring years of experience to protect what matters most, your family and your business. From residential repairs to large-scale commercial roofing, we deliver honest work, fair pricing, and quality you can trust. An upgrade on your roof can lower your insurance costs. Don't wait for a leak to turn into a disaster. Call the experts at Pelican Roofing today. 1-866-9-PELICAN. That's 1-866-9-PELICAN. Online at pelicanroofingcompany.com. CCC 1332512.
When Glass Doctor replaces your windshield, we don't just send you on your way, we send you off protected. Your local Glass Doctor includes the industry's only 12-month windshield protection plan at no extra cost. That means unlimited chip repairs and even a one-time replacement if needed. High-quality service backed by real peace of mind, right here in your neighborhood.
Glass Doctor, Glass Doctor. Call the Glass Doctor, we fix your pains. Oh, yeah.
Exclusions apply. See your local Glass Doctor for details.
Get ready, Southwest Florida. The Southwest Florida Ag Expo is back. Now's the time to save big with the Mega Pass. Your all-in-one ticket to the fun, one low price. Get you one-day admission and unlimited midway rides. Mega Passes available online through February 26th at swflagexpo.com. Don't wait. Grab yours. Get ready for roots, rides, and real fun. Lee County, building a better community through business, sports, and tourism.
American Paint Supplies, for nearly 30 years, is your one-stop shop for all your coating needs. If you are a designer, a contractor, a professional painter, or a weekend warrior, American Paint Supplies is the place where experts go to get expert solutions. At 6100 Shirley Street in Naples off of Pine Ridge, American Paint Supplies delivers the best solutions with the best products with the best support. Meet Gene and his team today at American Paint Supplies. Call 239-566-2700. That's 566-2700 or online at AmericanPaintSupplies.net.
This is Miller and Moulton.
Very entertaining. A lot of players who hadn't played during the season got to play. They could showcase what they do.
David, do you know who Mark Haynes is? I'm not saying you should. I just had a post on X from Coach's Hot Seat explaining why bowl games are good. And Mark Haynes is the one talking, and I don't know who that is.
At first glance, no.
By the way, because they all are celebrating birthdays today, a little F Killer Mary for you.
Oh.
Sheryl Crow, Sarah Palin, Jennifer Aniston. I think we're all going to kill Sarah Palin, but that's just me.
Probably FKM.
I don't know if I'd want to marry Jennifer Aniston. She's nuts.
Oh, I don't know about that. She smokes a lot of weed. She seems pretty chill to me.
I think I'd bang Jennifer Aniston, marry Sheryl Crow. She's the musician. She might write a song about me.
I knew that. You're a big Sheryl Crow fan, though. I knew that. I knew that.
Sheryl Crow won for me when she was on Letterman. I remember telling you this. Whoever replaced Jenny McCarthy, I can't think of her name right now. Replaced Jenny McCarthy on that MTV show, Carmen Electra, and Carmen Electra had just done a spread in Playboy, and Letterman's being Letterman, and he's opening the sun, and Carmen Electra's just dumb, and she can't I mean, she's not a good interview. And then Sheryl Crow came out and sang, killed it, looked amazing, and got the couch after.
Oh.
And was great. Like, hey, by the way, I can be sexy, pretty, and carry on a conversation like a human being. Sheryl Crow, the oldest of those three, by the way.
Okay, I was going to guess for Aniston 57.
Yeah. I saw a video recently that apparently right before, I don't think they had filmed yet, or they had filmed it and not released it, or, they cut I think they'd made the pilot, but it hadn't been put out yet.
Okay.
They sent them all to Vegas, the whole cast, for the weekend. Said, go have fun. Because when you get back, your life ain't ever going to be the same.
Oh, you mean for Friends?
Yeah.
So they were convinced it was going to be a hit from the get-go. That's interesting. I was not a huge regular Friends watcher. I think because I was working.
Yeah.
So, and I was doing the local TV thing. So I missed watching Friends on a regular basis. My wife is all over it.
My wife as well. I was too. I'm the same age as she is. So I was in Atlanta then, I think.
Welcome to the bonus hour, brought to you by Jason and Todd at the Diamond District. And now, here's Mark Miller and David Moulton.
22 minutes till the top of the hour, final segment of the Hump Day edition of Miller and Moulton. Thanks for being with us. 2 poll questions, National Guitar Day. If you could be really good at playing an instrument, which instrument would you choose? Guitar, drums, or piano? And apparently on the PGA Tour, this has become a question because the players their marketing uses the word major. They're not saying they're a major, but they are saying the tournament is major. And Brandel Chambly totally backs it, thinks it's the best tournament in the sport. And so we're asking you, because we got a lot of golf fans, you okay with the players being a major? Yay or nay?
And fortunately, you're not. By and large. 48% of you going guitar, and no's were well ahead of the yeses, 70% saying the players is not a 5th major.
It's that time again, nearing the end, but not quite there yet. Here's Mark Miller with Today Was the Day When.
We start in 1751, when America's first hospital opens its doors to care for the sick, poor, and insane wandering the streets of Philadelphia. It was co-founded by Ben Franklin. What didn't he do?
Yeah, him and Edison. Talk about guys who needed, just take a break, guys.
Have a drink. The Archie comic book debuts today in 42. The Declaration of Liberated Europe is signed at the Yalta Conference by FDR, Winston Churchill, and Joseph Stalin today in 45. The NHLPA forms today in 1957. Ted Lindsay from the Red Wings elected president. His owner was really happy.
Not at all.
Today in 63, Julia Child's show, The French Chef, premieres on WGBH in Boston, one of the first cooking shows in the United States. The Beatles' first concert in the U.S. at the Washington Coliseum in Washington, D.C. was today in 64. You got to help me with this one, David. Mm-hmm. Madison Square Garden 3 closes. Madison Square Garden 4 opens today in 68. Is that the one we're still in?
Yes. Yep. There's not enough land to build an alternative.
They kind of need one too, don't they?
Well, I don't know if they do, but
they think they do.
The city is threatening to like shut it down though, because I don't know. And so Dolan, who owns it, is looking into where can I build the next one. And this just in, real estate in Manhattan is tough to find to build MSG.
I've never been. If I were to go, would you recommend a basketball game, a hockey game, or a concert?
Concert. The acoustics are awesome.
Baseball's first arbitration case was today in 1974. If Moulton knows this, I may just quit this segment. I'll even give you a clue. It was a pitcher. I'll give you a second clue. He pitched for the Minnesota Twins. Do you have any idea who baseball's first arbitration case was today in 74?
Wow, in 74? No, I don't think I do. I was thinking a pitcher, but not with the Twins.
Thank goodness. Dick Woodson. If he would have answered that, everyone's day would have been ruined except for David's. He was seeking $29,000. He wins. The Twins offered 23.
Imagine that. The Twins were cheap. I can't believe it.
Right. Today in 79, 43 million of us watched Elvis on ABC. I'm pretty sure I was one of them. That same day, Ayatollah Khomeini seized power in Iran, taking over for the prime minister after losing support of the military. This one's simply just for me, and I don't care. The Smiths released their second album, Meet His Murder, today in 1985. It would go on to number 1 in the UK. Former Laker girl Paula Abdul scores her first number 1 hit with Straight Up today in 1989. 1990. David remembers where he was at because James Buster Douglas knocks out Mike Tyson in the 10th round in Tokyo to win the heavyweight title.
It was on HBO because there wasn't enough interest in the fight to put it on pay-per-view. I was in downtown Scranton in a pool hall. And this was a Saturday night. This was the big stakes pool play, Mark. And I was right in the middle of it. And I kept walking away from the table to watch the fight. And people kept yelling at me going, "Hey, get over here. You're in the game." And I'm like, Douglas is kicking his butt.
Also today in 90, Nelson Mandela released from 27 years of imprisonment in South Africa. Whitney Houston found dead today in 2012. Pope Benedict resigned today in 2013. You may not think it's a big deal, but the first time a pope resigned since 1415.
Hello.
And the Super Bowl in 2024 was played in Las Vegas. Overtime. Kansas City goes back-to-back 25-22 over the 49ers. Usher, the halftime show. Mahomes, your MVP. Huge list of guests at the halftime show. That was a biggie. That was a good one.
Fred Warner was asked a couple days ago because the Niners took the ball. They won the toss and they took the ball. And Fred was asked, was that a mistake? And he went, no, because I was on defense and regulation ended with us barely holding off the Chiefs and forcing a field goal so that we could have overtime. He said, no, he goes, look at the video. I'm panting at the coin toss. I'm still exhausted. He goes, no, Shanahan knew if he put the defense on the field, they were going to write down and score a touchdown. He goes, we at least had a chance if we went second.
Thomas Edison, Noriega, and Burt Reynolds would have all celebrated birthdays. Tina Louise, Ginger, she's 92.
Wow.
Jeb Bush is 73. Cheryl Crow, 64. Sarah Palin, 62. Jennifer Addiston, 57. Surfer Kelly Slater, 54. And Daniel Medvedev, David's favorite tennis player, is 30. What did I miss?
I don't know. I got to be honest. I didn't even look. Okay. Sorry.
Time to see life a little bit differently. Here's Mark Miller with the good, the bad, and the ugly. What you got, Mark?
We go to Kentucky for the good, where a 3-year-old boy disappeared Saturday while it was very cold outside. Police were called. People went out to look on foot, a drone, an air unit. Finally, it was a dog. All of a sudden, a dog kind of jumped in the fracas, and the dog was barking at one of the officers. The officer said, I'm kind of a little leery of the dog. He's barking, chirping at me. And then he continues to follow me back to the front porch again, to knock on the house again. And I said, hey, let's go get this kid. Well, the dog led him to the garage. That's where they found the child in the passenger seat of a vehicle. Way to go, dog. For the bad, and a story I'm surprised it doesn't happen every day, but we go to the Spruce Creek Country Club in the Ponce Inlet area of Florida, where a pickleball match turned ugly. Anthony Spiesna and his wife were playing a doubles match of pickleball. Apparently, he and Julianne, his wife, 51, by the way, match got a little heated. And Anthony accused his opponent of stepping into the kitchen. That's coming too close to the net for those of you who think pickleball is a joke.
Thank you for explaining that. I had no idea what
problem.
you were talking about.
After the match ended, Anthony called Fisher's wife a vulgar name.
Uh-oh.
Well, Fisher objected. And then Anthony approached him and punched him in the left side of the face, followed with a strike by the paddle.
Wow.
Christopher's over the age of 65, as is Anthony, but that doesn't matter because when you hit someone at that age, it's a felony. Finally, the ugly. We go to the air where, boy, oh boy, kids will do the darndest thing, David. It was a Wizz Air flight. By the way, would you ever fly an airline called Wizz Air? W-I-Z-Z.
Nope. No, I'm good.
Fighter jets were scrambled to intercept a UK flight after authorities received reports from a passenger because of a changed Wi-Fi name on the pass list. Apparently, a kid changed mom and dad's Wi-Fi password to, you guessed it, terrorist.
Oh, for goodness sakes.
Fighter jets surrounded the plane. The plane landed safely. No one was injured. And the IT savant was, well, I guess apprehended by authorities. And that is the good, the bad, and the ugly on today, February the 11th, brought to you by the Cape Coral Police Department. Waiting to break up a pickleball fight near you. If you want to break up pickleball fights and handle all the other duties that the Cape Coral Police handle, they're looking for new police officers. Great pay, overtime benefits, the whole 9 yards. Not to mention there are other jobs available. To apply and get all information, capecops.com. capecops.com.
Introductory pay between 74 and 90,000 and a 10,000 signing bonus. I mean, if you're interested, it's a hot steaming deal. Before we get to the schedule, No, I'll do the schedule. I'm sorry. 14 games in the NBA. 14. At most, they can have 15. So just about everybody playing tonight. Orlando's home from Milwaukee. Heat are in Indiana to take on the Pacers. The ESPN double dip. Early Knicks in Philly. 10 o'clock Spurs and Warriors. No Steph. He's nursing a knee injury. Not coming back till after the break. By the way, tomorrow, last NBA, because it's All-Star Weekend. All-Star Weekend in Daytona, right? This weekend? And tomorrow's the 150s at Daytona. College hoop, 5 games involving ranked teams, 3 system plays, including the Gators in Athens, where they lost a year ago, taking on Mike White in Georgia. 7 o'clock ESPN2. Gators a 9.5-point favorite. UConn is in Indianapolis, taking on Butler. They're laying 11.5. And Michigan on Big Ten Network at 8:30 at Northwestern. You got to lay 15.5 with the Wolverines. Those are the 3 system plays tonight. Did you see the Texas Rangers promotion that they announced? I think they announced it late yesterday. So in late May, I think it's the 29th, don't quote me, the Rangers are playing the Royals. And they're having a giveaway, Mark. Blood-stained Nolan Ryan jerseys.
God, that's great. I love everything about that.
What? By the way, Nolan hasn't played in 33 years. But
do you bring is it Robin Ventura out to have the first pitch thrown at him?
Well, I think you could have if they were playing the White Sox, but the promotions against the Royals. I don't know who you do it, but how about that for promotion?
That's outstanding.
I thought you'd appreciate that as somebody who helped put a few promotions together over the years.
Well done. Well done.
A lot of Olympics today, big events. All right, good stuff to watch if you're interested. If not, well, it's what Miller and Moulton are for. We'll be back tomorrow.
The Cape Coral Police Department is growing, and they want you to be a part of it. They're hiring new officers. Starting pay is between $74,000 and $90,000, depending on your experience. And with a $10,000 hiring bonus, you could be making $100,000. Enjoy paid holidays, off-duty details, plenty of OT opportunities. They're also hiring dispatchers and professional staff. So go to capecops.com. Capecops.com. Be brave, be best. Be Cape.
Mark Miller for Sleep Treatment Direct. They are helping me with sleep apnea. And by helping me, I mean curing me. No more CPAP machine. No more snoring. No more tossing. No more waking up exhausted. Their expert team got me the right treatment fast and hassle-free. If you want to feel energized and get rid of your snoring, call Sleep Treatment Direct today. 444-1741. That's 239-444-1741. Sleep Treatment Direct. Sleep safe and sound.
At the Diamond District, we've built our inventory since day one.
We never pass on beautiful jewelry. For years, we've chosen exceptional diamonds and fine jewelry.
And when you buy with love for 2 decades,
your vault fills with extraordinary jewelry. That's why we're emptying the vault now through Valentine's Day. Enjoy rare pricing on jewelry chosen to celebrate love, connection, and commitment.
Will you be mine? Starts with diamonds from the Diamond District. Hablamos Espanol.
Visit Jason and Todd at the Diamond District.
Let's talk the big differences between Floormeisters and the big box store that sells flooring. Floormeisters is family owned. They do flooring, not doors, nuts and bolts, or weed killer. They specialize in it. They know it. Floormeisters backs their installer, so if there's ever an issue, good chance the boss, TJ, will come out and make it right. Floormeister's prices beat the box stores every day of the week. When you think flooring, think Floormeisters in Naples. Floormeisters.com. Real people, real prices, real quality selection. The Floormeisters, just keeping it real.
Your roof is your home's first line of defense. At Pelican Roofing of Florida, Ronnie John and their team bring years of experience to protect what matters most, your family and your business. From residential repairs to large-scale commercial roofing, we deliver honest work, fair pricing, and quality you can trust. An upgrade on your roof can lower your insurance costs. Don't wait for a leak to turn into a disaster. Call the experts at Pelican Roofing today. 1-866-9-PELICAN. That's 1-866-9-PELICAN. Online at PelicanRoofingCompany.com. CC 133-2512.
Hey, Southwest Florida, Jimmy the Beef Guy here. For you that haven't tried us yet, you gotta get in here and try my favorite 5 Chicago-style sandwiches. I got the Italian beef, I got the Italian sausage, the sausage and beef, the Mexico Street Polish, and our soon-to-be famous breaded steak. Call us at either one of our locations in Bonita Springs and Fort Myers. And guys, when you're at the counter, don't call it gardenia. It's pronounced jardiniere.
This is Miller and Moulton.
I can do the end stream now since I'm hyper aware of the.
I'm